that our 5 boroughs, one of them, particularly the north side, is getting some really big snowstorm, I understand.
Yeah, I talked to Lou Greco from the Uncle Louie show.
They're getting slammed?
Yeah, they're getting a lot of snow.
Well, it's one of the benefits of living in the 6th Borough. We don't have to deal with that kind of
Yeah.
slush and what we call snit. Do you know what snit is?
No, I've never heard that one.
I know what it is, but I don't think we're thinking the same
It's a
thing.
combination
My
of...
friends out there, we know what snit is.
and snow together. So that's snit. That's kind of something that snow that turns into ugly, gray, mushy
Oh, it's from all
stuff.
the salt and the dirt. and
It
all
just
that,
turns
yeah.
into total snit. That's all it is. It's nasty.
Mm.
But living down here, that's why we're here. That's why we'll keep moving down here. So, Joe, tell me, what do you think? What happened with politics this week?
Politics?
Yes.
What happened with politics? We had President Trump announce that he's going to run again
Yes, he did.
in
He made that announcement.
2024, and he
Yeah.
actually gave a very good speech. He didn't go crazy on anybody. He just he gave a good speech. If he stays like that, he's got a good shot of being the
Yep.
president again. And that wild crazy lady is retiring, Nancy Pelosi. She should have retired 20 years ago, but she's retiring.
Yes, after 2 decades of
Yeah.
being House Speaker or in the role of that type of power. So, again, this is not a reflection of our personal opinions on our political stance,
they're
but
just facts.
we're just making facts. That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. And, there's been a lot happening also with respect to a lot of people were starting to prepare for Thanksgiving. I think some people already have checked out. Like, mentally speaking, they're just
they
like...
left?
Well, I don't know, but I just can tell you that down here it's been super, super busy.
It's always busy down here. It's ridiculous.
Well, I think that because the holiday is coming, people already come down starting their week off.
God bless our veterans. Thank you, Anthony.
Absolutely, absolutely. So for those of you who are listening, we want to make sure you know that you can actually be a part of our show, not just by listening,
Yes,
but
where
you
can
can
we
call in.
where could we watch it?
Well, we can certainly watch it on our YouTube channel, which is Power Up Radio TV. And you can
there we
also
go.
watch it on Facebook
We are live.
We're live on Facebook. You can see us streaming on there, and that's under Power Up Radio, the 6th Borough. You can see us on there. But you can also call us. This is what you want you to do. Call us at 888-565-1470. And you can certainly be a part of our show. And by the way, you can also go to our website, www.powerupradiotv.com, to be able to see the show live as well and see what goodies are going on the website. We have a lot of different things coming on. Become a member so you can actually be aware of lots of other advantages, coupons, discounts, what our sponsors are supplying to us. So make sure you're always in tune with the Power Up Radio and the 6th Borough. So what else is going on? What do we have happening?
What are you
Something cool.
What are you doing for Thanksgiving, Ken?
Oh, I got something else cool.
Oh,
All right, go ahead, go.
Actually, Thanksgiving, I'll be with
we got Richmond in the house. Look at that.
Richmond.
Richmond in the house. Thanks for tuning in, Richmond. We really, really appreciate that.
Maquille.
Yes, very much so. We appreciate anyone reaching out from a distance and tuning in. Actually,
Richmond.
what's in Richmond?
Yeah. Is that your friend?
No, I don't know that.
Oh, dang, nice.
Yes, well, I mean, obviously
I do,
they're
I don't
friends.
know.
Thank you so much. I know special people in Richmond, so I appreciate you tuning in. We have Kenny Ruiz with us, the Mag Chop owner, who's here live with us. As you know, he's been our guest here, and we're just so happy to have him participate with us.
I'm the third
and be a
wheel.
part. Yes, he's the ad lib on the sideline. But Kenny has been an instrumental part of our show for the last few weeks, and we really do appreciate
Since the
him being
beginning,
here.
he's been there.
Yeah,
I'm
since
all-
the beginning.
I
That's
got
right.
your back.
One thing about Kenny, he's loyal. He'll stick with you through it all, and he has.
Well, I know we have an exciting show, but before we
do?
begin, we do have an exciting show. You don't think we have an exciting
Always.
show?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I do know that we have to recognize there are a couple of national holidays today. You
Today's
know,
a holiday?
A couple of national ones.
What are they?
Yeah, well, the first one is National Princess Day. I love that
I didn't even
one.
know there was that.
Yes,
It's
it
a
is.
day for everything.
There's a day for everything, but hashtag National Princess Day for sure. But some of the most popular princesses that we know, of course, was Grace Kelly, a beautiful, beautiful woman, actor, or I should say actress. And then the other most, I would say, well-known one is also Princess Diana.
Princess
May she rest
Diana.
in peace. So this
And
is
my-
National Princess Day.
And my 2 daughters.
Of course.
And
my
mine.
one daughter. Yes, my one
All
daughter,
daughters
too.
out there.
All daughters out there, of all kinds, all sizes, all ages. We are all princesses. It's also a very special birthday. It's Mickey Mouse's birthday.
How
Oh,
old
wow.
is he?
Look at that.
You know, that's a good question. Maybe someone can actually tell us how old he
Gotta
is.
be 50? No,
No, more than
it's
that.
close to 60.
I don't know,
She was
so-
50 a couple of years ago.
Can we
How old
have
is
any
Mickey
questions?
Mouse?
You got to comment and call in live. If you know how old Mickey Mouse is, can you please just do a comment? Let us know or dial in 888-565-1470.
I'm gonna Google it.
I think it was
We could actually
1946.
say how old is Mickey?
Does it how old?
How old is he?
I think, wasn't it like 1946 or something like that?
Well, I do know he was actually drawn on a napkin. That's how he came to be with Walt Disney himself.
And Disney was scared of mice.
Was he really?
Yes, yeah.
I did not know that.
That's a fact.
He was trying to overcome his phobia, so he drew a mouse.
He made it friendly.
It's too funny. And it's also, this is a good one. It's Substitute Teachers Day. How many of us remember our substitute teachers and abuse those poor people?
Man.
It was a free day, in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah.
Who are you? Yeah, okay. No, I mean, my high school, I went to an all-girl private high school, so when we had a substitute, it was not a good thing. How old is he?
94 years old.
He's
Wow.
Mickey Mouse is 94?
It's catching up to you.
Wow. Wow, catching up to me? Oh, that's not funny.
Cousin Anthony, hello. Did you know Mickey Mouse was 94 years old? Anthony Dominicus?
Wow, 94. He's getting up there.
I said 50.
That's old.
So what
94.
year? What year was?
Almost 100 years old. Ming.
Wow.
So Disney's been around a long time. Or did Mickey Mouse come before Disney?
Yeah.
Well, no, Walt Disney was first.
Well, actually, Disney World is like 50-something years old.
Well, the actual park, that's
In
the
Orlando.
original park.
Orlando.
The one in Orlando.
Yeah.
That's the second park.
Because we're Disney World, and I think California is Disneyland.
Disneyland.
Correct.
Disneyland's been there a long time, right?
Yes, Disneyland
Yeah.
was the original park, and then, of course, Disney World came after that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else we got going on?
We also have a number of other things, but I do know that for Thanksgiving that's coming up, lots of things happening this week. So we always want to say thank you so much. We're going to we're going to have a repeat show next week, so hope to hear from you which
Yes.
one you want to hear with us. So we're going to be taking a break as well for the weekend. So we want to make sure that we give you the best entertainment while we are enjoying our families, as hopefully you will be as well.
Yes, big day.
So,
I'm
Joe-
taking the whole weekend off, too.
You're taking a whole weekend off? Good. So tell me about your Thanksgiving. What is that like in the 6th Borough life of in Joe's house?
Turkey's just part of the meal in an Italian family. You know what I mean? It's not by the time the turkey comes, you're stuffed. You know, with the pasta dishes, the lasagna. My mother makes ravioli and a cream sauce. Then it's just. I remember one year when some other family members came to visit me. They go, I've seen big dinners, but this is ridiculous. The buffet was like a mile long.
So we have a comment here. Originally, it was a rabbit, but Mrs. Disney convinced her husband to use a mouse instead. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
Anthony.
Anthony.
See, we actually have the original source. That's awesome. We're really glad to hear that.
What about you? What are you doing for Thanksgiving?
Well, for this particular
No,
Thanksgiving, it's going to be very quiet. Typically, it would be at my house, but this time we're going to my dad's
Oh,
house.
nice.
And it's traditionally a combination of different cultures. Being Hispanic, Puerto
he's
Rican,
gonna be driving,
Cuban,
so he's gonna
we
call
have
in.
that version. But then because I was married for so long to an Italian,
Right.
that we also throw in the Italian side of a lot of the dishes that we love.
Well, my kids are going to brunch
7 minutes, he's gonna call.
with their
Okay,
mom
All right, thanks.
and my daughter's fiance's family, and then they don't want to miss our meal, so they're going to come over there later.
That's the way it is. My daughter will be
Yeah.
coming in, and she's like going to be bouncing around.
Yeah.
But Thanksgiving to me is super special. I will say, and I will give this. May my mom rest in peace. She passed away on Thanksgiving.
Oh, sorry to hear
So
that.
that's a special day for me. It used to be a lot more somber, but for now, as time
Yeah.
passes, things turn around, and it becomes more of great memories of having her around. And one of the things I remember most was going with her to the Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York City.
Oh, wow. Never
used to
been.
go.
Always watched it on TV.
Oh, it's a great experience. I was very much so adamant about having my daughter have that experience. Although she was born down here and
So
raised down here,
You've taken her there?
I did do that. I took her and the cousins, and we were there live at It was freezing. My gosh, was it cold.
Really? Even on Thanksgiving, it was cold.
It was freezing cold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I
of
don't
course,
miss-
you got to see
I
Santa
don't miss
Claus
that.
come in.
Yeah.
And that kicks off the entire season for the rest of everything else to come.
Then the tree lighting is coming up shortly after that, right?
Yes, the
That's
tree lighting, I believe, is going to
the week
be
after Thanksgiving, isn't it?
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
In Rockefeller Center.
That's when I put my tree up.
Yeah,
After
who's
the
got
day after
the-
Thanksgiving is like the start to me of the
Who's
Christmas
got their
season.
trees up now? Take them down.
Crazy people.
Okay, I'm a crazy person then. I'm putting mine up
We
this
knew it.
week. Y'all are welcome. I'll take video.
I
You
still
can
got my
see it.
Halloween decorations up. But this week also, I went bike night Wednesday night with Nico, who's a guest on here quite often. Nico Capria from Nico Nation, and we haven't gone in a while. And this week was the first time we went, and it was great. You know, it's at Marina 84 in Fort Lauderdale on Wednesday nights. You want to see some crazy bikes and a good time? Come there. I think we should film there, put it on the show.
I think it'd be great.
That'd be
I
a
mean,
great
I'm a
idea.
biker at heart. Actually, I love putting on that.
I mean,
whole
we got there.
leather
The
look.
chaps and
we
everything.
got there early because it gets darker early, and we're
Oh,
like,
that's true.
And we got nobody's here. Nobody's here. I guess nobody's coming because of the time change. 15 minutes later, you couldn't even move. It was crazy, crazy.
Well, you know, people want to get out. I mean,
Yeah.
this is as we've been moving out of the COVID thinking more, people are becoming much
Right.
more comfortable. So, and as the holidays come, people become more social because they just want to be able to, at least here in South Florida, I mean, it's just so easy to get up
Right.
and go and enjoy so much. Did you ever make it to the exotic car show on
No, I
Sunday?
missed it. So many people went to escarole soup.
Oh, that's one of my favorite soups,
Escarole.
actually. I love escarole soup.
I'm hungry. Don't
You're
mention
hungry?
don't mention any more food, Anthony.
Well, I will say that one of the things that we're going to be talking about in the second half of the show is all turkey. We're going to talk turkey. So you got to stay tuned for that part of the show. But I know that we have a
you
great
bring
guest.
some?
I didn't bring anything. I didn't bring any turkey.
My nudge.
I'm sorry, I didn't bring any turkey, but we can make believe we have turkey. How's that? We'll talk turkey later. But tell us a little bit about our guest that's coming on.
Is he on the line yet?
He's,
No, but let's line it up.
he's getting to a spot where he can pull over. So I had to walk away. He called me and said, "Hey, I had to run out."
Oh my!
So-
All right, so we got time. We're doing good.
We're probably about 3 minutes. I think he's going to call.
We
in.
have.
This is NFL legendary New York Giants linebacker Leonard Marshall. He was
Is he
number
linebacker or
70.
defensive end?
No, I think it was a defensive lineman or something.
Yeah, he's a
lineman.
lineman
He was
or
a
end,
lineman.
yeah.
That's what he was.
He's too
lineman.
big to be a linebacker.
Yeah, no, he was a lineman.
Yeah.
And he played with LT. He's got two Super Bowl champions.
He played with the
championships.
famous Big Blue defense.
Yeah.
86 and 90 Giants defense. I'm a avid Dallas Cowboy fan, but I do
Nobody's
respect the defense of those two teams.
Well, I will ask this question then,
Yeah.
because one of the things I know we're talking football, because one of the things that is so much appreciated during Thanksgiving is what? What happens during
Football.
Football.
Yeah.
Cowboys play every
It's
year.
a part of the culture.
They are
America's
playing.
team.
They're playing.
They play every year on Thanksgiving.
so
Yeah, it's like Detroit and Dallas.
Detroit plays a home game and Dallas plays a home game every Thanksgiving for the
Well-
last 60 years.
on that note,
America's
I have
team.
a question for you all.
What?
So we're talking football, right? So what professional football team has played almost every Thanksgiving since 1934?
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions.
Very good. All right. Ding, 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 ding. And so who was the first game that they played with?
Chicago Bears.
Oh, right. Look at that. I'm impressed. Oh, did you know the answers? Did you see
No,
the
I'm
answers?
just a football guy.
I love that. I had no idea.
Yeah.
I did not know that. But what's interesting, though, is that the Detroit Lions have always played except for these years because of World War II. It would have been 1939 through 1944.
And
There was no
Dallas started
game.
playing when, in the 60s?
Well, the Dallas Cowboys adopted the same tradition back in 1966.
Yeah.
But did not play during 75 and 77. I wasn't clear as to why that was
Why?
the case. I'm not sure. Was there a strike or anything?
They won the Super Bowl in 77.
I don't know. I was born in '77, so
Were you?
I don't remember it.
But they didn't play. Well, remember, this is the traditional Thanksgiving
Right.
game. So it has nothing to do with
Well,
the
now,
Super
it used to just be 2 games. Now, what is it, 4 games or something like that? Or 3?
Sometimes 3 or 4 games now. Yeah.
The
It
same
used to
day?
be-
Yeah.
I remember it being 1 and then 2.
Always Dallas.
Yeah, it was always Dallas
in
and
the
Detroit.
afternoon, Detroit early.
Yeah.
And now they got the night game, so there's 3 games on.
3 games
So it's
now.
all day and all night.
Let's bring it back in time, though. I mean, how many of us remember when we were younger going to the football games because of our high schools? Or, I mean,
Played, yeah.
you played well, I was cheering, and those are the best memories that I have.
Yeah.
Those were the coldest of games to play, because it was during the day, but it just like, as soon as you
Friday
were in
nights.
that cold, well, for Thanksgiving, though, the Thanksgiving football game in the morning.
Oh, the pickup games. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember
man.
freezing and going home, and the smell of the turkey when you walked in the house.
Yeah.
And the warmth, oh my God, you can't replace those memories. You can't replace smell.
Yeah, coming in with your hand hanging off.
Yeah,
Broken
yeah.
wrist. But I want to eat. Can't tell you.
We
My
played
hands are numb.
tackle football in the snow. There's nothing like
Yeah,
it.
it's awesome.
It's just nothing like
It's
it.
awesome.
You know,
So for us here, it's tackle football in the sand.
in the sand.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it
think
hurts.
I'd rather do the snow than the sand, honestly.
He's trying to get, excuse us, guys, but he's trying to get in.
All right, well, we got that out. We got that happening.
Give this to Freddie.
So,
Give it to Freddie. Another vod. This is why I say do it early.
things happen. Anyway, we have
He needs the password from Freddie.
So
he
what
just,
we're-
he just texted you too.
Freddie,
Leonard
use the
Marshall.
password.
well, this is what happens when you're live, everybody. This is what happens. But you know what?
This
Going
is
back
why I
to
was
those
so
memories-
happy when I first got here.
Yes, well, it's all good. But we go back in time though with me in memory.
Look at it.
Well, when you're in the snow, I mean, I don't know about you, but we were all kids, and I remember being in the snow so to the point where I didn't feel anything, but I didn't know I was
numb.
not feeling anything. Walking into the house and then thawing out, that was painful. Do you remember
Yeah.
the pins and needles as you
Oh,
were?
yeah.
The fingers and you were thrown to the laundry room
I
in the
remember,
basement
I
somewhere.
remember putting those stupid rubber boots on. They didn't work.
because the snow went inside
Yeah,
the boot.
they didn't work. And the gloves were like so big you couldn't even make a snowball with them. So I wound up taking them off and getting my hands over.
There was a hand-me-down boat,
Yeah.
mittens.
Put these rubber boots on. The galoshes. Is that
The
what they were called?
galoshes.
Yeah.
But the mittens themselves, if they were wool, they got wet and then they froze.
And then when you were really small, they put you in so much clothes you couldn't even walk. You're like this.
You was stiff and hard, yeah. It was the experience was certainly something that I don't
miss
remember.
the cold weather at all.
No. If anyone does miss the cold weather, please let us
Oh.
know. We'll have some therapy lined up for you guys to figure out why, God's name, you would like cold weather. But some people really like it. They really think it's good for you. So you do remember in high school we played with the teachers two-hand touch called turkey bowl. That still happens today.
They still do that, Anthony.
Yeah, they still do that.
Because they're turkeys. They play two-hand touch.
Yeah.
You can't take a hit.
Well, I will tell you that one of the things that we're going to be talking about, thank you so much. This is awesome. This is actually turkey soup. Just saying. For those of you that want to know, we're having turkey soup. It's a little bit spiked turkey soup. How's that, everybody? So tell me a little bit, Joe, about what it is that your family does when everyone has eaten. What happens?
We watch the game. I go watch the Dallas game. But
You actually manage to stay awake during the game.
Well, we eat like it happens every year. We happen to watch it right like smack in the middle of the game, like 4:35. So I eat in front of the TV because I don't want to miss anything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we don't
Oh.
eat. We don't. There's so many people and there's so much food that we can't all fit at a table. So everybody goes up there, fills up their plate, and finds a spot to sit.
You know, that's a regular Sunday at your house.
Yes, you've been there.
So can only imagine Thanksgiving
Yeah,
being
you
that
can
much
imagine, yeah. That's
grander.
why Kenny was just there. How was that spread?
I'm telling you, it was like,
I know, I've been there.
yeah, it was like enough to feed an army. And,
Yes.
But we ate like an army.
Yeah, they finished it off. My cousin Joey puts that stuff away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I started wondering if the character from Friends was based on him because that guy can eat, man.
Who was that?
My cousin Joey.
Oh, Joey.
He
Yeah.
didn't call in, Joe Deluche. Oh, they're having a social tonight.
Oh, every Friday night they
Yeah,
have their social.
I'm going to go there and find a nice
Yes,
Christian girl after
a nice
this.
Christian girl. Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Won't be nice anymore.
I will say that in my family, one of the things that always happened, everybody fell asleep.
No. Can't fall
Yeah.
asleep in the Rubo house. You crazy?
Well, why would you fall asleep eating turkey? What's in turkey that makes you sleepy?
Tryptophan.
The tryptophan. Right. I can't keep my eyes open.
Come on.
No, actually, it's very true. In the
I
north,
know it's
you know,
true, but I don't ever remember. I eat turkey all the time.
Well,
Isn't it
think
turkey
about this.
breast
Here-
too? He just wrote us.
Well,
again.
maybe the more you eat it, you become like almost immune to it. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know
you
about
build a
that, but listen,
tolerance.
you come in from the cold in the morning, then you're thawing out, and now you're eating, and now you're exhausted. The cold weather makes you sleepy. I don't care what anybody says.
I sleep better in the winter.
So do I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and then the heat's high in the house, and then of course you would fall asleep because it was just so cozy.
My grandfather in New York, it was steam. You know, the radiators in the corner would get steam. And whenever it was cold, my grandfather used to go, Jojo, metala steam, metala steam. Grandpa,
how you say steam?
Grandpa, it's on. It's hot, Mom. Come on, metala steam, fatemo steam.
Is that how you say it in Italian?
Yeah.
Steam?
Steam. It is steam.
It
Those
is
radiators
steam?
are made.
Well, yeah, the radiator,
The water
yeah.
goes through them and they get hot with the gas. Everything was gas powered back then. You didn't have no electric or nothing. Everything was gas stove.
You know, it's
Yeah, you got a
crazy.
boiler down in the thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Some of those properties still have that. Some of the properties still have
Yeah.
that. And I have to say, though, that kind of heat is the best heat. Because it was like...
The electric heat, your throat gets dry.
That's right. It was almost like a humidifier when you had the radiators, which... Do they still have them? I'm sure they still do in many of the apartment buildings in New York.
All the old buildings and stuff still have the. Anthony, you live in New York. He probably has electric heat. He's a big shot now. But well, like when we were driving through the Bronx and stuff, when I was just up there,
When you did it,
you still see the air conditions in the window.
Oh, the units?
Yeah, everybody has the air conditioned units.
all right.
Well, so...
We eat from 1 to 9.
In this one household, we have Anthony Dominica saying that they eat from 1 to 5, and then finally it is indeed turkey sauce or
No,
turkey gravy.
What is it called, Aunt? That he's ending the argument.
He is. It's
Turkey
turkey
sauce?
No, it's gravy.
It's turkey gravy.
It's turkey gravy.
If it's served in a gravy boat, it's gravy.
It's gravy. Yeah. Well, I just have so many fond memories, and I know that when
Thanksgiving
we think back
was one
at
of my
this-
favorite holidays.
Yeah, we think back to the 6th Borough back in the day because we want to go back in time and bring that nostalgia.
Yeah.
So we want to bring those memories, and one of the things that I have that I will never forget is the smell, because you can't forget smell. That brings you right back to where you were, and that sensation. So that is one of the most nostalgic things that we have is bringing us back in time between the baking and the cookies and then the desserts.
We used to always have
Oh,
Thanksgiving
goodness.
either my house in New York or my Uncle Joe's house. And I remember when I used to go to my Uncle Joe's house as a kid, my grandmother would have been there first. The antipasta's all set up. And I'm starving. I go to touch it, get hit for touching it. What is it there for? You got to wait till everybody gets here. Don't touch it. It looked like a picture. That's how nice it was.
Oh, always.
With
Always.
the provolone and the cool brazout. Oh.
So we need people to take care of us. If you're out there and you know that
We need a chef back here.
that we need someone that we can work with that can bring us this food and we can all enjoy at the same time and give you the
Give
one
you the
two
plug.
and give you the plug. I love that. We'll give
And
you
Friday
the plug.
night's pizza night too. When I lived in north, Friday night was always pizza night.
Always.
So we should have a pizza guy come on
Well,
Friday
actually,
night.
pizza and fish.
Fish Friday.
The fish Fridays.
Yeah,
that
that's
was
why
the
you
fish
eat
fries.
pizza. That's why you eat pizza because.
Oh, that's true. And the Italian versions, that's why.
Yeah.
We have the fish Fridays.
Alige.
Well, listen, one of the things that we want to do is make sure that we go back in time. That's the 6th Borough.
Yes.
Bringing you the nostalgia.
back.
Take you back. That's what we want to do. I'll tell you one thing I won't ever get used to is seeing the palm trees with lights.
Yeah.
And nothing, listen, is it colored lights on your tree or do you have solid? This is a stake in the ground.
Christmas tree.
Okay. Oh.
Okay.
All righty then.
here
Our
we go.
caller is here. All right. Come on, caller, are you there?
Mr.
Leonard?
Marshall. Hey, you got to turn some interior lights on or something, my man.
Leonard Marshall is with us, and we're excited to have him. So why don't we
Welcome.
have an introduction? So,
Oh my God.
well, here we are. Well, back to 2. All right. Well, we're going back in time. We're back to our story with having to
Palm
chat-
trees with Christmas lights.
The palm trees
You know,
with Christmas lights.
in 2017, when I was living in Fort Lauderdale, Gina and I went and bought this palm tree with white lights out, and we stuck it outside. In the first hour, it was stolen. Because I never seen anything like it. I said, I want to buy this. It was cool.
You
like
put
this.
the tree outside?
It was.
It goes in the
it was.
house.
It was a.
Hey, there he is.
It was.
Oh.
It was a decoration.
There you are.
Hey, Leonard. Finally. How we doing, sir? Pleasure to have you on the show. Welcome to the 6th Borough.
Good. Nice to be here.
Here we have
You driving around New
New
York
York
right now?
Giant legend Leonard Marshall.
I'm driving around New York with my wife. Yes.
Oh, you're in New York right now?
Yes. Oh, well, I'm in New Jersey, actually.
Oh, okay. So welcome to the show, and congratulations on being inducted into the Ring of Honor.
Yes.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yes.
I actually saw that. First of all, thank you so much for joining us. That's from me, Denise, and I wanted to say that I did not know what the Ring of Honor was. So, of course, true to form, I went ahead and did a lot of research. And you have to share with us what that really means and the honor behind that. And I was curious, is that just for the New York Giants, or is that for everyone inducted into the Ring of Honor?
Well, it's a special thing that the New York Giants do for all their players that are their marquee Hall of Fame type players. And what they do is they induct with so many people into this. So it's a unique group of guys. It's guys that had careers that were above and beyond most of the careers of most players that played for the organization. It's probably less than, I'm going to say, 75 guys in the whole group, and that's with 22,000 players coming through the door of the New York Giants.
Wow.
So it's a privilege. It's a privilege. It's a stepping stone into the Pro Football Hall of Fame for many guys because it means that your career was synonymous with the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
And is there an actual ring that they give you?
No,
You get a jacket.
yeah.
Okay.
You get a bust. You get a bust that goes into what's called the Legacy Club
Right.
inside the stadium.
Okay.
You become a Legacy Club member, and your name gets enshrined inside the stadium in perpetuity. So my kids will see my
See
name in
his
that
name in
stadium
the stadium.
for the rest of my life and the rest of their lives.
Wow.
It's
That is
amazing.
an honor.
Wow. I want a ring. I want to get in the
Yes.
Ring of Honor. Do they have little princesses versions of that?
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, that's a great honor to be in. I'm very curious. So, tell me a little bit how you actually started your career in football. Let's give a little backstory here.
Well, I'm a kid from a small town, Louisiana. I grew up on the bayou, 750 people strong. And my town was a sugarcane town. So whereas we're three-quarters of the way up to the top of the United States, Louisiana is at the bottom, the very bottom. We call it the boot because it's in the shape of a boot. And I grew up 6 miles from the Gulf of Mexico. So it was my dream to play pro football because a few guys from my hometown achieved the dream. And I kind of wanted to follow in their footsteps. But I wanted to be a little bit better than they were. I actually wanted, my thing was I wanted greatness. I wanted to take my father's name and enshrine it in somebody's stadium with somebody's organization and do it at a high level. And I was lucky and fortunate enough to achieve that.
Wow. Congratulations. Well, I'm a huge football fan in general. I won't say which team is my favorite, but I have to say that I watched the Giants growing up in New York. I'm a Dallas fan, but I have to respect the defense of Big Blue. I mean, those teams had probably the best, if not the best, one of the best defenses ever. Those
Yeah.
90 and 86, for sure.
Yes. Yes.
So, when you said you wanted to play, so did you play college? Well, I should say, did you play football? Well, in like seventh and eighth grade, did you play? Of course, naturally, you must have played in high school.
Well, I did play in high school and I did play in college, but when I was a kid, I was too big to play Pop Warner football. So most of the women,
I could see
most of the
that.
women that had children my age, they said, "Oh, there's no way I'm gonna let that Marshall kid hit my boy. My my boy will never come back."
Oh, that's
so
hysterical.
yeah, so football really was my second choice. I stumbled into football. My first love was basketball, and as a kid, I probably had over 100 trophies for playing basketball.
Wow.
And believe it or not, I played point guard. As big as I am, I played point guard on my basketball team, and that's pretty good at it. Pretty good at it. And I guess midway through high school, my coach said, "Leonard, you scored 25, but you foul out of every game." He goes, "You play good defense, but I think you'd be more suited to play linebacker or tight end in football." So I went out for the team, and of course, I ended up playing center and linebacker. And then I guess as I gained weight and got bigger, I learned how to put my hand on the ground and play in a 3 point and a 4 point stance, and the rest is history from there. I was fortunate enough to get recruited by colleges. I got recruited by pretty much every school in the Southeastern Conference. A couple of big schools, USC and Notre Dame, also called, and the University of Oklahoma. But I turned down the University of Alabama and Bad Bryant to go play for LSU. And I think it was the greatest decision I ever made.
Yeah, look how it turned out.
Yeah,
Great decision. And you really,
yeah.
the position you played, you were in the trenches, down in the trenches.
I was in the trenches.
Yep.
I was in the trenches with
That's
Lawrence
gritty.
Taylor, and he and I are like Batman. We're like Batman and Robin on the football field together, and our careers are synonymous, and our careers are historic in the Giants organization.
I've had the
As a matter
pleasure.
of fact, go ahead.
I've had the pleasure of meeting Lawrence a few times on a television show I used to host on. Great guy, a lot of charity work down here. I met him a few times. Great,
Yeah.
great, great man.
Phenomenal man,
Yes.
phenomenal individual.
So Leonard, I have to actually share something.
Go.
I've met LT a few times, and we've actually met. You don't remember, but way back in the day, there was a hotel bar that I actually worked at. Yes, people, I was a barmaid, and it was at the Sheraton on Route 17. So after your games, you would actually go to the Sheraton and hang out for a couple of cocktails. Does it ring a bell with you?
The Sheridan Hasbrook Heights. Yeah,
That is
that's where most of the players hung out my rookie year.
That's right.
Which place?
That's right. That's the Sheridan in Hasbrook Heights.
Oh wow.
That's exactly where. So yeah, I've seen you many times. You don't. I mean, we're going back way back in time, but it's
Okay.
still a small world. Just the people that you meet that comes in the circle, and I was very much so impressed with all of you. You maintained yourselves really well, and what athletes you were. I mean, talk about big. I mean, I'm 5'2", 120 pounds, and I mean, it just.
Oh, let me tell you, when Leonard came to my house one day, he come by the house. He was just like almost hitting his head on everything, and I was just like, I got to get a bigger house.
We have a
Eddie, you're
question.
crazy.
Somebody wrote in a
You're
question,
crazy.
Mr. Marshall. They wrote, I'm sure you get this all the time. Mr. Marshall, do
Sure.
people still remind you of that awesome hit you put on Joe Montana? Of course, that was
Oh,
one of
do
the
they
most
ever?
famous,
Do they ever?
hits ever.
Yeah, it was the last hit he
Do they
took as a
ever?
49er.
Yeah, yeah. I tell you that the funny thing is you have to watch sometimes what you say to them because you really don't want people to think you were like that vicious of a person. But people say stuff like geez, do you send him a lullaby or
But that's how football's supposed to be played.
But wait a minute, did you?
yeah, oh
Now we
yeah.
got to know. Did you?
No, I didn't actually.
So
No,
Leonard,
I didn't. But
what's
you know,
going on?
uh,
What's going on now? What are you doing now?
well, now I'm kind of in chill mode. My wife's trying to get me to retire, and I think she's going to retire me before she retires herself. But
Okay.
I'm just kind of a homebody. I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I'm involved in the coffee business up here, and
Oh,
I'm involved in a couple different ventures. But I kind of roll under the radar these days.
Best way to be.
The
yes.
coffee thing is cool.
Is it?
You should send
I
us
got
some
to see
co-
some of
About the
it.
coffee thing.
Yeah, we would love to have some of it. I'm a huge coffee fan.
All right, well we'll do our best to get you some.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
When do you plan on being down in South Florida again?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know. I tell you, I would love to buy something back in that area.
Right.
I'd love to get something. I don't know, somewhere maybe Boynton Beach.
Well, that's right near.
That's
It's around the
right
corner
here,
from
yeah.
us.
We'd love to meet you when you come down. We'd love to have the honor of you coming here.
I have
Yeah,
a
I'm trying
question. Oops, so sorry. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
It's hard.
No, go ahead.
So the question that I have from when you played football, back in 1980s, to see how football is played today, in your mind's eye, what is it that you see that's a big difference from when you played to now? And I have two more that piggybacks because we're getting questions coming in. So if you can answer that one first, that would be great. Your insight on that.
Well, defensive football is a lot different than during my era of football. Defensive football right now, the league has changed in that the league has become the WWE of sports. Teams want to score points. Owners of teams want their offenses to score points. My era of football was big defense.
Big
So
blue. Yeah.
people went to games to see defenses play and to stop offenses from scoring and stop running backs from running the ball. And Kenny's favorite team is the Chicago Bears. The
Yeah.
Chicago Bears had this great running back by the name of Walter Payton, and
Sweetness.
Walter
Yep.
Payton was like a beast in the backfield, and he was a guy who averaged 100 plus yards a game for most of his career until he met the New York Giants. And so, it was a big deal for us to play running backs like that in my era of football. Now football has become, Tom Brady. Let me light up the scoreboard with 45 points. Let the
Yeah.
wide receivers play. Let the quarterbacks not take hits anymore. And if you're a big defensive lineman, the one thing you like to do is lay out a quarterback. I mean,
Right.
that's like scoring a touchdown for a defensive lineman. So you can't do that anymore in football.
No, you
You do
can't.
that now, you get a $500,000 fine.
Oh my.
Yeah.
My
Yeah.
football player with Joe Montana would have probably cost me $1 million.
At least. Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. And how a man your size, playing football, when you got a free run at a quarterback, how the hell are you supposed to stop and hold up?
That's
It, it's
that's it. I
ridiculous.
It's
mean,
like a train
Yeah.
coming
I
at
want.
you.
Yeah.
I don't know how those guys do it. I
Yeah.
mean, today's football is a lot different than my era of football. I mean, I can think of the times the quarterbacks. Look at what Joe Theismann. Look at what happened to Joe
Yep.
Oh
Theismann and
yes.
Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
Yep.
I
I
remember
mean,
watching that
that would have
game.
cost. Yeah, that would have cost him $1 million.
Yeah, yeah. And Troy Aikman was saying something the other day about the concussion protocol and all this
Yes.
stuff, and he's like, "Man, I wish they had this when I was playing."
Well, even the
He
helmets
goes,
are
I would have
different
played
now.
a lot longer.
Well, yes, I would
Sure.
imagine from your take, though, Marshall. Wouldn't you say that even the equipment is different today? The field itself, and the turf is different. Everything is so different. Let me just tell you something. Dare I say that football then was football versus what it is today?
100%.
Do you
Yeah,
agree?
no, it's no doubt, no doubt. I mean, it
Yeah.
was a man's game back then. Now it's a different game. Now it's a game where fans go to watch the entertainment, be entertained, watch the scoreboard light up, watch things blow up in the stadium. It's almost like being at a WWE match.
Exactly.
That's what it
It really
was.
is.
Exactly.
It really is.
It's bare knuckles.
Actually, those guys take more punishment than some people take nowadays.
Well, I mean, you look at
Yeah,
the
you're probably
difference,
right.
especially in the equipment. I mean, look at the helmet he's wearing in that picture, and compared to what the helmets look like now. And they didn't have a name for those helmets. They were just not safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well-
I mean, it's a different deal back then.
So now, do you take any time and do you do any one-on-one training with anybody, or are you ever doing any football camps? Do you still do that, or is that something that you do every once in a while?
That's of interest to me because my nephew plays football up here in New Jersey. He's as a Pop Warner football player, so he's a kid that's in his first year doing it. So I'm trying to encourage him to do it and teach him how to take care of his body now. Teach him some of the things and fundamentals that he should pay attention to as he's continuing to grow in the sport. I want him to learn how to bend his knees and play with leverage and understand that his body is the most important piece of equipment that he goes into a football game with. So it's tough for kids to know that because they still eat candy and hot dogs and pizza, but yet you kind of want him to kind of know a little bit now and hope that as he gets older, he improves his diet, he improves his physical effort, and he becomes more astute about the game.
Well, we have a question for you. What can the NFL do to reduce the amount of concussions that are going on today? And before you answer
Take the
that,
helmet.
say that again.
Yep. Take the helmet completely out of the game.
Take the helmet completely out of the game. Wow.
Wow.
Really?
Take
That's
the
it.
helmet completely out of the game. And that's something they'll never be able to do.
Like rugby. Just put
Yeah. You
That's the
think
only way.
it sounds crazy when you say it, but then you think about it.
You're
when-
less likely to charge into something
Right.
head first when you.
People go head first with their helmets and they're crushing people like that.
All right, Kenny, check this
Yeah.
out, Kenny. You're a defensive back, and what's the kid's name? Josh Allen is running the football. He's coming down the field, and it's fourth and 7. And if you either hit him or tackle him before he gets the 7 yards, what's the first thing you're gonna think to hit him with? Your shoulder or your helmet?
If I got a helmet on, I got the helmet.
Yeah,
I'm going down.
Use your protection. Exactly.
Yeah,
Makes
yeah,
a lot of
Exactly.
sense.
yeah. That's true.
And so that's the way it is. And then they're gonna flag you for a flagrant hit on
Yeah.
a quarterback or a guy. What do they call it? I'm trying to think what they call it now.
Oh, the
Um,
Roughing the
crack blocks or
passer.
something like that. It's like a. They have a
Oh,
name for
they
it.
using the helmet as a
yeah,
weapon.
use the helmet as a weapon.
Yeah.
The helmet as a weapon.
Oh,
That's it.
I do that while
That's
I'm
it. Blow
shopping.
to the head. Blow to the head.
Yeah.
I'm sure your
Yep.
wife can relate to this. I use my helmet
my-
for shopping.
Yep. Oh yeah. You just-
Trish, we just have somebody
yeah.
saying hi. Hi, Trish Lewis. Thank you for watching. Thank you for calling in.
So, Leonard, with respect to your experience and what you just shared, that's a very interesting take about take
Yeah,
the
it makes
helmet
a lot
out.
of sense, though.
That makes a lot of sense to me. I mean, isn't rugby similar to that?
Rugby's worse.
I mean, that's
Yeah,
that's like bare knuckles.
Yeah.
Yeah, rugby's bare knuckle. Rugby's bare. Listen, rugby's bare knuckle. Rugby is like the MMA of football.
Right.
And you're right. There's probably a lot less concussions because people are
I
not
mean,
going.
if I was in an MMA fight and a guy beat me up like that after the fight, he better look out because I'm coming for him.
That's what we say on Black Friday. So, honestly, though, this is very interesting what you're sharing. And if you go back in time, what is your take on college football? Like, how do you see that from where it was and where it is today? Do you have any take on that? Do you think that they, being compensated is a good thing for these kids or not? What are your thoughts on that?
NIL is going to change the game. I always thought that NIL should have came into play, especially during my era of football, because I always felt that kids in college should get paid something. I mean, you get kids that go to school, they put their life and their liberty on the line every Saturday afternoon. They're struggling to get money to eat pizza. They're struggling to get money to wash their clothes.
Agreed.
You're a student athlete. You can't get for so much money in the course of a year. You don't have access to Pell Grants and other stuff that other kids are in college that they're getting. And you kind of look at yourself and say, am I fortunate or am I not? Yes, I'm a scholastic athlete. Yes, I get 3 meals a day. I have a place to sleep. My books and my tuition is paid for. But come the weekend, I'm trying to figure out what am I going to do to be able to have a normal life while I'm in college. So kids can turn to do bad things,
Yep.
sell books,
It's a very good point.
sell drugs, do all kinds of different things. And you want kids to avoid that because now your athlete's at risk because he could get into trouble and he could take some other people with him. So, I think NIL money kind of levels the playing field between players and colleges and, it kind of helps the kid.
And I mean, they're making a lot of money off of these young athletes.
Oh,
Just
they
going
are.
to say that
Wax.
they're making a ton of money.
The
know?
school is making an
Yeah.
enormous amount of money, and I do
I
believe
mean,
that
Kenny,
they do put money in a
$1 million
trust for
ball
them.
game.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
But you make a very valid point with respect to these kids playing ball. But I had another question, and I got so enthralled, and now I have to come back to my question now. But I'm excited to hear more about what you're saying. Oh, yes, I do remember. So let's go back for a little bit here. My ex-husband was a professional football player. You've actually played on the same field together. However, one thing I can say is these kids that are, being drafted, it's a great experience, the draft anywhere from, the first draft down to whatever number of drafts it goes down to. But they get themselves on the field and they get this enormous amount of money for the first time. And it's a whole new life for them. And so they're given all this guidance and whatnot. But the question I have for you is that, what are your thoughts, and is there anything right now for when, for example, they get released? They're no longer playing and they've lived this life, in the high and mighty of being a football player, and then all of a sudden they're not. That transition is very, very difficult. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, the transition is very tough, Denise. Very tough, and I'll tell you why. You get a playbook when you join a team. That playbook becomes your Bible. That playbook goes everywhere you go. You go to bed with it, you wake up with it, you go to training camp with it. When you break camp, you have to turn that playbook in. Then they give you a game plan every week for the teams that you play. When you leave the National Football League, it's a swift kick in the ass, and it's have a good life. You don't get a playbook. You don't get
Right.
a game plan. You don't get any coaching. You don't get nothing. And it's like, goodbye. I hope you had a great time. We loved having you here, but there'll be a new guy wearing that uniform next season.
That's a
You're
tough,
absolutely right.
That's a
Yeah.
tough, and then they lean towards the worst of scenarios because who were friends
Yeah.
are not friends anymore. I would imagine that's the case, and then they turn to maybe potentially drugs, alcohol. The family's not as supportive, and that's a big gap. I mean, I always thought about that.
It makes so much sense. You know, I was talking to my brother the other night about you coming on. He's a huge Giant fan, and how this throughout the years, so many great football players, you know, that played that we know of, like you never even hear of them anymore. You know,
Yeah.
we still everyone knows who you are, but there's good running backs and great players that played throughout the years. That
Gone.
whatever happened to them? Where'd they go? What are they doing?
Well,
Yeah, see, you
yeah.
really
Oh,
don't
sorry.
know.
Go ahead.
No, you really don't know. You know, the one thing that I can tell you that was good for me, joining the New York Football Giants, we had a team psychiatrist, we had a team psychologist. I had a dietitian when I was playing, who took care of me my whole career. I got deeply involved with the organization. I was a second round draft pick, so they put a lot of money and investment into Leonard Marshall becoming a guy who could play a decade wearing the uniform for the New York Giants. I represented them well in the community, which away from the game was superior. I went back to school while I was playing. I got my undergrad degree.
Excellent.
I worked on my master's degree. I taught at a university here in New Jersey for 6 years. So I've done some things that are not so iconic with most athletes. And I think that's the one thing that kept me going is that I always continued to grow. You
Right.
know, I took football, the platform, and used it to expand Leonard Marshall's world.
Awesome.
That's great. Would you say then, Leonard, that to all of the youth out there that wants to go and play football, would you say that they should always have a backup plan? And would you say that
You
that's
always
important?
have.
Right.
Yes, you always have to have a backup plan. Because I mean, it takes 3 years and 3 games to get vested. And when I say vested, that means that you get access to a pension and a 401k for working for that football team. Now
Did
it's
not
up
know
to
that.
you now. Yeah, now it's up to you now to save your money, invest your money wisely, surround yourself with good people, and good things always happen. Surround yourself with garbage, you'll become garbage. And I
Exactly.
think that's the thing that most kids don't understand when they get into this business. Everybody's going to come along. They're going to have a song and a dance. They're going to pull on you. They're going to
Yep.
want you to hang out with them because you're somebody. In most cases, they're nobody. So they can either pull you up or pull you down.
Yeah.
You got to figure out who's trying to do that. You know, like my old coach Bill Parcells would say, Leonard, there's people in your life that come along. I call them ERWs. They eat, ride, and warm up the seat for the next guy to come along in your life. Remember that.
He's right.
I like that.
I like that very much. We had a question that came in, and it's a very good question. Who is the one person that influenced you the most during your football career?
I attribute a lot of stuff to three guys on my team. I think that the first guy would be George Dwight Martin. George Dwight Martin happened to be a veteran defensive lineman at the time when I came in. And, I was having some trouble my rookie season. He sat me down, pulled me aside. He said, Leonard, listen, that's your coach. You're the player. The only way you're going to grow is to get him to trust you. This is a trust business, Leonard. So the more money they give you, the more they trust you. You need to earn their trust, and they'll pay you as much money as you want. But you got to remember that everything goes through that guy. So it was my thing early on to convince that guy that I'm going to be that player. That's why my second year in the league, I set the Giants on fire. My third year in the league, I was defensive lineman of the year in the
Yep.
entire NFL. My fourth year in the league, I repeated that and was the best defensive lineman in pro football. So my goal as a youngster was brand myself now and have them learn how to trust me and then just ride the wave. Just continue to do what I do and do it well.
Great advice.
Well said. Very well said. Well, we're running out of time, and we can just continue talking and talking and talking with you with such great, nuggets of information.
Yeah.
But Bill Parcells, old name. Wow. Little
yeah.
secret. He
Yes.
used to drive through the McDonald's that I worked at. Early in the morning, I had the 6 a.m.
Oh, my
shift.
God.
He would drive through and get his egg McMuffin and his coffee and all that stuff. But yeah, these are great names of the past. It's unfortunate that our youngins today won't have that exposure to such great talent. And those of us that come from playing in the 80s or living in the 80s, I'd say we are one tough crowd.
Yeah,
I don't
really.
care what anybody says. I mean, Leonard, come on. I mean, you played.
I got very thick skin in New Jersey.
Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Do you have anything else? I mean, we can just keep talking.
I just want to say it was an
That
honor,
young man-
an honor having you here, and an
That's
honor
that-
speaking to you.
That young man in that studio right there, Kenny Ruiz, I got to tell you, I am
Great
so
guy.
goddamn proud of him. And I
Thanks,
hope I
bro.
can say that on this thing. I have watched this young man grow and aspire to greatness. He has always been somebody that I have cared for, and I wish him all the best.
Thank you.
Oh, that's
He
so
is-
sweet.
Thanks, Lee. I
He is a
appreciate
great
that,
guy.
Lee, man.
Wow, that's awesome, Leonard. Thank you so much for
you.
sharing that. That's very special.
Thank you.
That's great. You
Yeah, I love this guy,
we're
man.
all shedding a tear here with you.
Thank you.
That's really great. I mean, he is a great person, and thank you so much, you, for joining us and all the influence that you've
You're
had.
You're
Continue making a difference. Thank you so much. And you know what? We hope that we've earned you as a fan of the 6th Borough Power Up Media. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you, sir.
And
Yes.
have
You're
a
welcome.
great weekend. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thanks, man. I really appreciate you. Thanks for coming on, man.
Hope to meet you soon.
Okay, baby.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right. See you,
Take care.
I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye now. Wow, what a great interview.
Yes, what a great guy.
Great
He's
guy.
really, I've known him a long time, and I've watched him overcome a lot of adversities. You know, I've been friends with him for almost 20 years now. And he's just a great guy. You know, we've been just really cool. I'm really honored right now for him
You're
to say
going
that
up
to
there
me.
tomorrow? You're going to New York?
Yeah, I leave tomorrow morning.
Oh, that's great. Well, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Leonard Marshall. Thank you, Kenny,
Yeah.
for being here. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Stay tuned for the second half of our show, Power Up Radio, and we have some really great stuff. And we're going to talk turkey and show you some Art Basel fashion. Stay tuned, everyone. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, it was. Why does he like you? Does he really know you? Yeah, I've been friends with him. No. Does he really know me? Yeah. No. I dated his daughter. And then.
Hey, thanks for riding the 6th Borough radio show. We hope that you will stay with us for part 2 of the show on Power Up Radio. Let's get your weekend started with a little bit of laughs and plenty of sauce.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsor.
In the radio, she heard me say, I dated his daughter.
Are we off?
All right, I'll see you guys. That's hilarious.
Kenny's going to sit in for me the second show.
No, I gotta go.
Why do you do that to me?
You're not leaving, are you? Ooh, I do too. Yeah, me too.
You can't do that when you come here. You need to eat.
So you got Tony's coming in today, David? Oh, nice.
Bring 5 people. Are we live?
WWNN Pompano Beach, a VCMG live radio station. The new oldies. Queens, 95.3 and 96.9.
RD Promo is the premier source of unique and captivating promotional products. Whether you need gifts for trade shows, corporate giveaways, holidays, or something in between, RD Promo is committed to the best services and products for our clients. Our expert account representatives are committed to your satisfaction and are prepared to help you find the promotional bags, gift items, and products you need. Our compelling corporate gifts meet high-quality standards and are designed to work for every budget. RD Promo makes promoting your business affordable, efficient, and fun. We work with high-end clients, advertising, and marketing firms alike to craft successful marketing campaigns for brands. Small businesses, major corporations, and multinational Fortune 500 companies have trusted us for their promotional product needs. Call 1-855-915-7377 or visit our website at rdpromo.com. The Safety Works line of products has been carefully tested and established as the first line of defense against the worldwide pandemic and beyond. Our high-quality FDA line of personal protection equipment will keep you, your family, and your workspace as protected as possible during these uncertain times. Call 1-855-915-7377 or visit our website at safetyworks.com. That's safety, WERCS.com. We all know that paper straws are terrible. They dissolve after a few minutes of being in your drink. When they dissolve, they are also releasing gluten into your drink. Gator straws are different because they are made from rice paper. Rice, like when used with sushi, it gets wet and it binds. Gator straws last at least 4 to 5 hours in a drink. Gator straws are gluten-free, manufactured with superior paper, are recyclable, animal-friendly, eco-friendly, and simply the best straw on the market. For more information, call 855-915-7377 and visit our website at www.safetyworks.com. That's www.safetywercs.com.
This program is furnished by amp2tv.square.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guests alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Let's get your weekend started on Fridays with your one and only new host, Denise. Bringing you amped, raw, and fun energy to entertain as you end your week to welcome your weekend. Denise will bring new friends, celebrities, entrepreneurs, topic experts, musicians, foodies, local events, news, and much more to educate, celebrate, motivate, relax, and relate. As she says, let's make your mess your message. So let's get this party started. Here's Denise.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Power Up Hour. We just had such a great show prior to this one, which, you know, we're a 2-hour show, and the first half is the 6th Borough, and we had Leonard Marshall with us. And what a great interview that was. So if you actually wanted to see it.
You had some good questions there.
Of course I did. I hit some. I do my homework. Mm-hmm. I have a little bit of a connection with football. I was married to it for a very long time. Mm-hmm. But I truly think that everyone should probably tap in to see that particular interview with Leonard Marshall and the Ring of Honor that he just received, and just some really great nuggets of information from his perspective as a pro football player, from what it was like to see football then and what it is today. So make sure if you want to see that, you can tune in and go right to our YouTube page. You can catch us on there, which is Power Up Radio TV. If you want to see us live, you can go right to our website as well at www.powerupradiotv.com. And you can also catch us on Facebook Live, which is where you can see the face and put the names together. And of course, I have with me my one and only, my one and only Joe is with me. Say hello.
Hello, guys. Welcome to the show. Like Denise said, we had a great first half. Hopefully the second half, it should be good. We still got Kenny the man with us here.
I'm always in the house.
He's always in the house.
Kenny,
and
our
we love
guest
him.
host, well, he's a fixture now. We might as well just keep him as a regular.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Might as well.
Love Kenny. He always brings us good guests and always good information. Kenny, give us a little plug on what you do. Give everybody a little plug.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm artist and fashion designer and actor, and so I'm really excited because I have a show that I'm doing in Miami during Art Basel called Le Art Noir. And
What is Art Basel, by the way?
it starts December 1st, I think, through the 5th, and my show is actually December 1st in the African American Heritage Culture Center, I think it's called, in Miami.
Coming to that. Coming to that one.
Oh yeah, definitely, yes. And I'm going to be showing my artwork and having some of my fashion there, so you'll be able to actually buy it. And this is the cool thing: I'm actually be selling my originals. This show, you can only bring originals, not prints.
I love that.
So it's interesting because sometimes I'm tied to my originals. I'm like, I don't want to let it go.
Yeah.
And then I'm actually in a movie called Negativity, and it's about the pandemic, and it just won another award. So we've got 5 awards now for this this film, which I got to introduce you to the director of that film. We're shooting another movie. Yes, thank you. Shout out to John Vargas and company. And then
We love our side effects here.
yeah, and then I'm working with Art Serve for that art show. I got the movie coming out. Negativity is in the Film Fest circuit right now, and then I have the Squad coming out.
The Squad.
And so it's cool. So I'm excited because I got a lot of cool things going on.
The busiest man in Hollywood right here.
Well, one of the things for the Power Up Hour is that we really try to concentrate on some great stories, some backstories, telling stories of motivation, inspiration, things that really give us some education as well. And one of the things that I love supporting, and both of us, and you've been in the arts, you're in the arts, is supporting the arts. And right here in South Florida, we have a lot of things that happen. We have the Fort Lauderdale Film Festival, which is a huge event.
Just passed, right?
It's ongoing. It lasts for like 2 weeks, just like Art Basel lasts for a couple of days. But this is ongoing. Every year we have the same thing. And the Art Basel event is one of the largest Miami events in the arts anyway. Yes. So if you want to know more about that, just Google it and go ahead and find out more about it. You can actually go to our website to find out more about it. But we're here to make sure that we bring inspiration to you, some education, motivation on stories. But we also want to hear from you. So if you want, you can call in, speak to Kenny, myself, or Joe, or any of the information we're going to go by, because we're going to be talking turkey very shortly. And it's 888. Literally, 888-565-1470. We want to hear from you. And once again, we had a great interview with Leonard Marshall. Thanks, Kenny, for setting that up with us.
How come I can never remember that number?
I don't know. When I first started working, it's been over a year, and I just learned it. So don't feel bad.
Because we're all spoiled by the numbers being in the phone.
Yes, actually, safe travels. We wish to you, Kenny, from Wendy McVoy Lefquist. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly, but thank you so much for your comment. We want to see more comments. We love what you have to say, and we're okay in telling.
We love you being involved.
Absolutely. Say it again.
We love when you get involved.
Yes.
Every time. We couldn't say it enough times. But we have a couple of things to recap. So we mentioned this earlier, but those that are just tuning in, we have some politics results. And you want to go over what we had as a result of this week's politics?
Oh, well, that's what we talked about already?
Well, yeah, we have the second set of listeners that are tuning in, so let's see if they want to hear it too.
Politics. I hate politics. But we have to tell you what's going on. President Trump announced that he's running again.
Yep. 224, yep.
Yep, 224, and it was a very good speech. He didn't go crazy on anybody, he didn't rip anybody apart. He just told the truth of what bad shape we're in now and how he wants to make it better again. And that crazy lady retired.
We'll give her an official name, and that would
Nancy
be
Pelosi.
House Speaker Nancy Pelosi, that she's actually been in public position for nearly 2 decades. She will be stepping down. Once again, our opinions are not a reflection of anything other than what we want to share, so please don't hold any of our opinions against us.
No, we don't. We try not to talk politics, religion, anything like that on the show. We're just giving you an update.
We're giving you updates.
She's
That's
crazy,
what we do.
Nancy Pelosi.
And we also have some national holidays that we have to make sure that we recognize. Once again, we mentioned earlier, but this is the second hour, so I just want to make sure everybody knows that today is a day for me, and it's called the National Princess Day. # National Princess
holiday.
Day. What's a national holiday?
So, did you get off today?
I actually did not work today.
See? So I guess it's a holiday.
Working
I
now.
did not work today during the day, but I'm here. So we are working now. We also, so let's talk about, this was also Mickey Mouse's birthday.
That's right. We
And
found out how old he really is.
And how old is he again?
94.
Ming.
94?
This is what it was, 94, right?
94.
94 years old, Mickey.
And he was originally a rabbit.
Yeah.
And the
That
missus-
part I didn't know.
I
I've
didn't
never
know
heard
that
that
either.
before.
Yeah.
I didn't
But
know that.
I know that Walt Disney was scared of mice, and I guess that was the reason
How
why he
long's
made it mice.
Bugs Bunny been around?
And,
I don't know, but he's not
and we
Disney. He's like
digress.
Warner Brothers.
No, but I'm just saying maybe that's why they didn't want to do the bunny.
Oh, they want to
because
yeah.
Bugs was around. Bugs
That's
was
a
around a while,
possibility.
yeah.
Possibility.
Google that.
Google that.
Google
Although,
out.
for me,
Does
my
anybody
favorite was,
know who's been around longer, Bugs Bunny or Mickey Mouse?
let us know.
We know,
Comment.
we know Popeye's been around forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it was
Yeah.
because of my spinach. But for those of you that are wanting to make sure, you can comment by going to our Facebook page and see us live on Power Up Radio.
Yeah, we'll see it right in front of us.
And we can see your comments pop up right in front of us, and we'll give you a shout out. So by all means, please make sure you comment or call. But we are, like I mentioned, it's Mickey's birthday, and also Substitute Teachers Day, Port Teachers. Thank you so much for you teachers for all your dedication and work out there, for making a difference for our youth. But poor substitutes, and back in the day when we were younger, they were abused.
To
I
this
hope they're not
day,
today.
they still take the
Yeah,
abuse.
still take it. But I remember
Yes.
one time we had this hot, young substitute teacher. I wanted her to stay.
You didn't want homework or anything.
Took
You
Sister
just wanted to watch.
Christopher's
Yeah.
place. What an upgrade that was. Oh, my own.
Yeah, when I was in high school, I wouldn't have told.
Oh, yeah, nowadays these kids are telling.
Kids are a bunch of rats. No.
Right?
Well,
But also, I'm sorry. Also, the substitute, I got lucky. That was a really hot one. But nowadays, if you take a picture of a teacher now and put it with one back then,
There's a big difference.
yeah.
There's a big difference.
Yeah.
Very big. But, everyone, I want you to understand that we will be having the second half of this show. We are having Tony Visions with us.
Yes.
And he was with us earlier, and he is actually going to be participating with the Art Basel show.
He's stuck in traffic right now.
He'll be
Trying to get
here.
him over
He'll be here with his entourage.
Come on,
but that's
Tony.
a big event that's coming up. A very big event at the Hard Rock. So,
Mickey
Mouse
Mouse
is
is
older than Bugs.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for the official word on that. We appreciate you. That's
Bugs
from the
is-
backboard.
But Bugs is 1G. Learn how to spell.
So what do we have going on? So yes, we are going to be celebrating Thanksgiving this week and
Yes.
this upcoming weekend, and we're very excited about
Already.
it. Already, yes.
Yeah.
But did you know? And I didn't know this, but Thanksgiving is actually turned into Black Friday also.
Yeah, it's like the big. You hear more commercials about Black Friday than
Yeah.
you hear about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Personally, you would never see me out on Black Friday.
Me neither.
I hate
Me neither. I'm not
crowds.
doing
I
that.
hate people. So somebody would wind up getting ran over or beat up that day. So I stay
Yeah.
away from that stuff.
Yeah.
No comment. I appreciate.
I would call it Black and Blue Friday.
That's pretty good.
Denise
I like
gets a
that.
football helmet on and goes.
I put my helmet on and I go to work. I know exactly the routine that I need to go.
Even Christmas shopping, I hate it. You know, I mean, I despise it. Everybody gets gift certificates. Go get what you want. Gift cards. It makes life so much easier.
Well, if anyone wants to make any donations, I'll be happy to make sure I take it to Black Friday with my helmet on, and I'll
You
make
going
sure.
to Black Friday?
Oh yeah, I love
No.
Black Friday. Yeah, but this
All right,
time around,
I'll give you a list on what to get me.
yeah, I already started my list.
Just
but
go
I'm
on
gonna be heading up to
magchop.com. That's what they
Virginia.
got. Go to magchop.com. That's where you want to shop
There you
at.
go.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Get everything you need right there.
Right
Actually,
there.
You can, this is Kenny's actual artwork right here, and
Oh, this is a great picture.
this is a collection. Yes, that's the beginning of the art, but this is the end product right here. Well.
Oh, Madonna.
I just, Black Friday is a big thing. You can go online, do your shopping. Everything is really at the best pricing
Did you
possible.
bring me some cash?
I actually did. That was your payday. I bought you some chocolate because I had just thought you needed to get
$1
paid for all
bar.
your hard work.
Ming.
We had it real. So we're going to talk turkey. Are we ready to talk turkey?
Let's go.
Because
Let's do it.
we have
Let's
our
hit
guests
it.
coming in around 7:35. We want to make sure that we're ready. But let's talk about this. One of the things that we did talk about, all things Thanksgiving. So, you know how I like to ask questions. We
Yes.
want to always hear what Joe's response is.
Shoot.
And anyone wants to go ahead and give me your comment, by all means, go right ahead. You can do that. And if you want to share how you celebrate your Thanksgiving, please call in 888-565-1470. So, I have a couple of questions, and this is great stuff because this is about nostalgia. And, you know, I always like to play this game of education on some really neat topics. So here we go. What city is the home of the oldest Thanksgiving Day parade? Ding, ding, ding. First answer.
New York?
No, it's not. That's a trick question. It's not New York.
He's already playing the trick question.
That's not New York.
Everyone would think it would be New York.
I would think it would be New
What
York.
is it?
So in actuality, it was in 1920 when this actual Thanksgiving Day parade started, and it was the Philadelphia Gimbel Brothers. You must
The
remember
Gimbels,
that.
yeah.
Gimbels.
Wow.
If-
That was
for those of us
Macy's.
that
That was
shopped back in
Macy's
the day.
competition.
Gimbel's Brothers, and that was a department store parade, and it still runs to today, believe it or not, but they've renamed it since.
They used to have the shopping window wars.
Yes.
Gimbels and Macy's. They used to see who could put the best display in it was great.
Is that what inspired the movie Mannequin?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
No way, come on.
It was like that. You'd go. People would go just to see these window.
Well, yes, the Macy's, the Macy's and Gimbel's
Gimbel's too,
windows,
yeah.
and that's actually, if you look at the Miracle on 34th Street, you actually can see
Right.
some of those windows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes they actually had live people in there.
Yes, they did.
Yeah.
They did. So,
Denise will be there Thanksgiving night.
yes, I'll be in the window doing my mimes. But they actually call the parade now, it's called the 6 ABC Dunkin' Donuts Parade. So who knew that? And this is in Philly.
Tongue twister. They
Yeah, why that? I didn't go that far into the diving, but anyway, now you know the oldest parade was in 1920, which was originally started in Philly with the Gimbel Brothers department store, and soon after that, that's when the Macy's parade came to be in 1924.
Wow, it's
it
been
actually
that long,
was.
huh?
They modeled it, and that's how the Macy's parade came to be.
Almost 100 years.
Wow,
98 years, yeah.
Yeah, 98 years. Wow, that's a long time ago. So, for those of you that are wondering, how long was the first Thanksgiving ever done? When was the very first Thanksgiving?
It was 1800s, right? No, earlier than that, 1600s.
Well, we go, you know.
1600s, Plymouth Rock.
So, if you think about
Rock,
it, how
rock,
the
the
question
Plymouth
is,
Rock.
how long did Thanksgiving last? So, today in our world, it lasts one day, maybe even for an
How
hour
long
of
did it
eating.
last?
You know, and watching TV and eating. Some people, like they said, eat from 1 to 9 o'clock. But in actuality, though, back when the Pilgrims were back in, it's actually November 1621.
I was 1600, I was right, okay.
1621. And it was a combination of the Pilgrims and the Native Americans that sat together, and the event lasted 3 days.
Well, that's why we have Thanksgiving weekend.
Well, we have Thanksgiving and Black Friday.
They didn't have Black Friday.
They
back
They didn't
then.
have Black Friday back
That-
They
then.
had Black
I think
Friday
Black
when they took
Friday's-
the land from the
That
Indians.
started in like the 2000s, right? That wasn't even in the 90s. We didn't have
Yeah,
that.
no,
I
that,
don't
that
remember
Black
Black Friday
Friday came
being
in
in the
later
90s.
on. Yeah, it's not been around that long. But it actually was a 3-day event, and the only reason because there was an abundance of harvest, and
Right.
they didn't know what to do, so they kept going and making sure that they celebrated as much as they could about the land and sharing it. So what was, what did they not have at the very first Thanksgiving?
Turkey.
Oh, come on.
They didn't have turkey.
They didn't have turkey. How could they not have turkey? But that is correct. They did not have turkey. But the question is, what did they eat?
They ate all other kind of
Corn.
livestock.
Look at the other.
Corn and cows.
Great answer.
They-
Corn on the cob.
I'm sure
yes, corn on the cob was one of them.
No. Corn and cows.
meat, chicken, probably.
Well, it was lobster.
Whoa.
Really?
They had because they were by the water. So remember?
I knew those pilgrims knew how to do it right.
So they were.
All right,
they
so
had-
no turkey this Thanksgiving. I want lobster.
So they had lobster, and they also had swan, which was. How do they eat a swan? It's foul. But they ate a swan. That's
Skinny
awful.
legs, right?
What, a swan?
Don't the swan have the skinny legs?
No, that's a flamingo.
Okay, sorry.
That's a flamingo.
What does a swan look like?
Oh my God!
Same
it's like
thing.
it's a
It's
very
like- it's like-
elegant,
it looks
graceful looking.
It has the
duck.
curve.
It's
like-
got the
Like a
long
big old
neck.
duck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a duck with a long neck.
There you
Kinda,
go.
here you
So
go.
it's the same kind of meat.
They
It's
ate
foul.
deer. They also had deer,
Oh dear.
That's gamey.
and they ate goose, which makes sense.
I never had goose. Did you ever eat goose?
It tastes
Me
like
neither.
chicken.
Duck I've had.
It
That's
tastes
what
like
they
chicken.
say about everything. Oh, it just
Duck,
tastes like
goose.
chicken.
People, I remember when they said rabbit tastes like chicken. I said, no, it doesn't.
No, this is the one that surprised me the most. Seal.
No.
Like seal.
The singer?
No, they didn't eat seal the singer. No, but they ate seals like they see in the zoo.
Yeah.
Where'd they
They
get
ate
'em?
seal. Well, I
Well,
guess they landed on the
Yeah, if they're by the
sand
water.
or something. But seal was part of their
They got him on the journey in.
They got
grabbed
him
that. We'll
the
eat it
blubber.
later.
Well, it was there was a lot
whale
of blubber.
meat, they say, is good.
Tastes like chicken.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Well, anyway, moving on to that was a great. I mean, I was like, wow.
What
how
if chicken
interesting.
just tastes like everything else?
But if you want to know,
Or seals,
actually,
though.
that turkey was introduced later on and became
Why?
to be, well, here's the interesting thing about that.
I'm going to ask some questions. Why?
Why?
There's a swan.
There's a swan. There it is.
The adult ADD is kicking in with, there's the swan,
A
everyone.
swan for Joe, a food for the pilgrims.
A food for the pilgrims. So the reason being, first of all, turkey came to be later on. But what was very interesting, like how did the whole experience come together about having Thanksgiving meal with turkey? Well, the concept actually gave birth by authors and writers. So the very first concept came from Charles Dickens, the writer who wrote a Christmas Carol. And it was him in his writing said that they envisioned this big old duck or turkey on the table. So it
There's
didn't
really no turkey for the first Thanksgiving?
There's really no turkey for the first Thanksgiving.
Well, a swan looks kind of like a turkey.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
yeah.
the poor swan.
Cut his head off.
I'll eat that.
Shape. Swan wings.
Swan. Oh, that's just terrible. But anyway, if you're thinking how actually why the turkey became a focal point at your dinner table was really only because of the fact that there was a description of how the New Englanders celebrated Thanksgiving, and it was through Charles Dickens and another writer called Sarah Josepha Hale, and these were all people that were in the 1800s.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That put in his whole description, and all of a sudden it started coming into play, like the movie Scrooge, and things that they kept placing, and they didn't have
Was
duck.
there turkeys in Scrooge?
No, if
I
you
don't
look
know.
at the movie Scrooge, there was not a turkey; it was a goose. Think about
Like,
that.
who's going to tell the difference?
Wow.
It was a goose.
Yeah.
Well, turkey, goose. I mean, I don't know. There's a difference. One
You stick
floats
your
on
hand
water.
inside. Is this
Well,
a
goose
goose?
floats in water. A turkey does not.
Because turkey don't know how to swim.
No. They can paddle. No, they
So
don't.
there's got to be a
Turkey's
difference.
land
Yeah.
fowl.
Yeah, it's a land fowl.
So when you get your hand up in
like a
there, you'll
chicken.
know.
It's like
You're
a
oh, this
chicken.
was
Yeah.
not a swimmer.
So you throw it in the water. Okay, that's not a goose.
Yeah, exactly. But it was very interesting how the whole concept came to be, and it all came together in New England when all these writers were putting their stories together and envisioning what a Thanksgiving meal looked like. So that's how really the tradition kind of just started folding out, where it was a turkey.
Wow.
But you know what was really interesting? Do you remember the Swanson frozen dinners?
Yes.
Yes.
Remember that? Well, this was an interesting tidbit. And
Was
I
there
thought
swans
this.
in it?
Well, no, there was no swans
what I
in the
thought.
Swanson frozen meal. But in 1953, there was a very big mistake made in the manufacturing,
Why?
in the factory where these Swanson frozen dinners, where someone decided to order turkey, and they ordered 260 tons worth of turkey. Well, as it turned out, it was a big mistake. It was only supposed to be ordering 26. And so what happened was,
What happened?
they actually put their brains together and they said, well, what are we going to do? So they actually came up with the idea for Thanksgiving to create the turkey Swanson frozen turkey dinner. And
Wow.
because of the one mistake of somebody ordering too many turkeys, so they created 5,000 trays. If you remember, it had the turkey, the peas, the
I remember-
carrots,
Yeah.
the
Those-
gravy, the
I
mashed
remember
potatoes.
getting burnt on those things so many friggin' times.
Right? Yeah, you had like the edges were cold, but the middle was
Yeah,
scorching
the
hot.
pie was so hot it would burn your mouth. But nowadays they just pop it in the microwave. Done.
Well, it became very popular,
Oh, yeah.
and parents went to town on this. So this is something that I thought was a pretty interesting fact. But what was even more so, what president proclaimed National Thanksgiving Day, a holiday.
Damn
If you had to guess, this was in 1863.
Nixon.
100 years later, baby.
He just didn't say that, folks. He was just kidding.
Just throwing names out there.
He's just
Roosevelt.
no. It was actually way back. It was Abraham Lincoln.
Abe.
Oh, good old Abe.
Abraham Lincoln, yes, and it was actually on November 26, 1963. So hence the Thursday, the 6th.
It's always the last Thursday of the. It's
It
always
used
the
to be
last.
the 3rd, but then it went to the
last.
last Thursday of the
Yeah,
month.
it was the third, right? They
It
changed
used
it
to be.
somewhere along the way.
Yeah, it got changed. But I just thought that was pretty neat.
I love when some people. What date is Thanksgiving fall on?
It's on Tuesday.
On Tuesday. Come to the house on Tuesday. Bring your own turkey.
This Thanksgiving, my girl Gina's coming down. I said you got to take some days off. She goes, "What day is Thanksgiving fall?" I said, "You're kidding, right?"
You're kidding, right?
She was really serious,
I
actually.
hope you're not watching, by the way.
But you asked the question before, where did the concept of turkey come from? So where do turkeys come from?
Swanson.
Swanson cooks them and shoves them into freezes them
from
and
Swanson.
goes into there. But
Did you know? I'm going to give it that there was a big turkey shortage this year. They got
Yes,
sick.
there was.
They got the flu, the turkey flu.
Yeah.
Millions of them died.
You know,
I think it's just a reason so they mark them up.
yeah, that's what I think. I don't
But
know.
there's no shortage. There's plenty of turkeys.
well,
You go to Walmart, there's tons of them, including the people that work there.
well, there are plenty of services out there for families.
Those are
that
jive
don't have.
turkeys.
Yeah. Well, I will say though, wild turkeys at some point
Yeah.
were considered to be an endangered species.
They were?
Yes.
Oh,
And,
wow.
You know, way back in those days, there were wild turkeys everywhere.
Do they still pardon the turkeys this year? President pardons turkeys? Yeah, every year he pardons 2 turkeys.
This is a great. Yes, I get to that in a
Oh,
second.
I jumped ahead.
But we have a great comment here. If
Oh,
I
look
can
at
speak
that.
correctly, Ben Franklin changed from a turkey as the symbol of patriotism to the bald eagle.
That was a good idea.
That was
Yeah, we
Really
don't-
good idea.
We don't want the turkey being.
well. The reason why it was the turkey, and let me feed off of this because the turkey is a symbol of Thanksgiving,
Right.
of unity. It's sitting down and being thankful. So that was indeed the concept of the turkey being at one point the state, or I should say, the country symbol of our bird. Well, anyway, where do turkeys come from? So actually, if you think about it,
Turkey?
no, that's not the answer. But that was certainly, it's not from the country.
Figure give it a shot.
But there was
The
a
country
guinea.
was there before.
It was way. It has nothing to do with the country. However,
Turkish turkey.
but there was a guinea fowl bird from
what?
North Africa.
What'd you say?
It's called a guinea fowl bird.
What the hell do the Italians got to do with it?
They have nothing. This is just how they say it. It's Guinea.
Is it Italian turkey?
It's Italian turkey.
A guinea turkey?
Well, no, it's just the way they say it, but it looks just like the American.
It's injected with tomato
turkey.
sauce.
Yeah, it actually looks like an American turkey, so it was imported to Europe from North Africa. And so because it looked like the American turkey, the name turkey stuck. So it has nothing to do with the country.
Bet you the guinea turkey was a connected turkey.
He was connected. He's part of the good feathers.
He probably lined up the ones that were getting whacked. These guys first.
Oh, my goodness. And so, folks, this is how we make fun of being here at the Power Up Hour, because we're here to make turkey talk about everything. And we want to really launch you into a great weekend with some good belly laughs. So if you want to share how you share your Thanksgiving and what goes on in your family, please call us at 888-565-1470. On that note, what's our next one? According to Americans, the best part of Thanksgiving meal. What is the best part?
The
I
football game?
love this answer.
I like the turkey sandwiches after.
Leftovers for weeks.
Yeah.
Well, let me
Cranberry
just
on
tell
it.
you, that is the answer.
It is?
Is it really?
Leftovers is the best part, according to the 2015 Harris poll, the aficionado of turkey meals, and it is actually the leftovers is the answer.
Because you eat the first round, right?
Yeah.
And you watch a little football
Yep.
and go back and say, I want one of those turkey sandwiches.
Well, I just think everything tastes better the next day anyway.
Yeah.
You know, if it sits in its gravy and it's just sitting there, I'm just saying.
we make this giant pot of rice. The pot we call it olla.
Yeah.
And
For
it's
turkey?
massive.
For Thanksgiving?
No, for
Thanksgiving.
rice. Is it the rice or for the?
It's for the
turkey?
rice.
Oh.
It's for the rice. It's about the size of a turkey's freaking.
Yes, it's a very
thing.
big pot.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I got rice for days, man.
Wow. I just got to say something. This Thanksgiving, I'm cooking absolutely nothing. They gave me off.
Who's cooking?
Me too.
I don't, my
I took
family,
off.
everybody gave me off because I'm smart. I did that 2 weeks ago, last week. Get me off for Thanksgiving.
There you go.
So, would you
Good
ever
idea.
wonder what other country celebrates Thanksgiving?
I thought it was just us.
I thought it was just us.
Canada does.
Canada?
Canada does, but it's on a different day.
What day?
Okay, I didn't get that far.
Oh.
But it is a different day, and there is a small community in Australia of Americans that also celebrate.
You know, I heard that on the news that we're the only country that celebrates it on that day. Mm-hmm. So if
Yep.
people are going on vacation to Europe and stuff, they don't know what Thanksgiving is.
Yes. So
Except the guinea turkeys.
Because they tell them.
But I got to share with you that there is actually different people and different. So there is a National Turkey Federation in the United States.
Wow.
Yes, a National Turkey Federation.
So there's a turkey union?
It's a turkey union.
Dang.
Yeah. And so if you were to ask how many turkeys do Americans prepare for Thanksgiving? How many turkeys are cooked?
Oh, man, millions. It's got to be millions.
46 million turkeys
Wow.
are made.
Wow.
And according to the
No wonder they
national,
were becoming extinct.
yes,
Americans
exactly.
were eating them all.
But according to the National Turkey Federation, 88% of the Americans eat turkey on Thanksgiving. I often wonder what are the other 12% doing,
Well, some people don't eat. They eat fish.
Yeah, but you got
or they
vegans
eat.
and vegetarians.
Yeah.
Who knows what they eat?
They call those.
True.
What do they call
there a
these?
plant
The what do they call the torturkeys? Tofu turkeys.
No.
Oh,
Yes,
no.
there are turfo. Listen to me. There are tofu turkeys.
Canada Thanksgiving is October 9th.
All right then.
Thank you for helping me with that.
Thank you so much for that. We really
So
appreciate.
they had their Thanksgiving already.
Yes, they did.
Those
No one invited me.
I want to know about theirs now that I know
we'll
that they
go there
have one.
first.
Like,
We'll go there
So
first.
yeah.
tell me about
did
this
they,
tofu
did they bite that off
turkey
of us?
stuff.
It's called turkey.
And it's made out of tofu?
It's made out of tofu. It's actually. I'm sorry. Let me correct myself. I stand corrected. It's tofurkey.
Tofurkey.
It's a tofurkey roast.
That sounds like a bad
And
word.
that
I don't-
way- it's
you
a
sure we could say
meatless
that?
alternative.
You know the best way to make tofu? Scrape it off the plate, throw it in the garbage.
Oh, for our vegans out there, he didn't mean that. But
Tofu.
that actually was created in 1995, the first meatless alternative,
Figures.
and it's called turkey. Turkey roasts.
My
So
chocolate.
there you go. This is great. I love this one here. So what happens to the turkey when it's pardoned by the president? And who was the first president to do that?
Was it Abe Lincoln?
It was definitely not Abe Lincoln.
Were these turkeys convicted of anything? I just that they need a pardon.
Well, this is the
don't get
interesting
killed.
thing. Well, I didn't know how big a turkey could actually be if you think about it.
Gigantic.
Yes. So like the biggest turkey I've ever seen that we've baked in our home was I think a 32-pounder.
Yeah.
But this one, and the first president to do that was President George Bush Sr., was the first to pardon a 50-pound turkey.
He probably took it home himself.
Well, the reason why he said it because the poor turkey looked nervous to him. So he said, we just can't eat this turkey. But so what happens now to
Ever since then?
Ever since then, that's right.
What year was that? 80-something?
No,
89?
Yeah. It was
He was
around that time
president in
frame.
88.
89?
Yeah.
He's
88.
president in 88.
So if you wonder what happens to the turkey that's been pardoned,
What happened?
He actually goes into retirement, and he will take residence at either Disney World or Disneyland, and will also then be the grand marshal of the parades at one of those parks.
How long do turkeys live for?
Yeah, it was that. Yeah.
Well, maybe someone on the backboard can find out, but I don't know.
Yeah,
It
let us
can't
know
be that
how long the
because
turkeys
we eat
live.
them all.
Every year, the 1 year.
And then
You
1
get nice
year.
and chunky for next year, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness! I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very. You do a lot of homework, I have to say.
Yeah. Well, this is the great thing. So,
You must be home a lot.
do turkeys actually gobble?
Gobble?
Gobble gobble.
They
It's
make
not
a weird
gobble,
noise.
It's a stupid sound.
Yeah.
This is
I'm not going to do it, but I.
from the aficionados of the highly educated. It's a stupid sound, so we've been heard. Well, actually, male turkeys gobble.
You would
female-
you would think the woman turkey would do the
Wait a
gobbling.
minute. The female turkey cackles.
Gobble who
It
gots.
cackles. It
The
cackles.
female
That's-
turkey cackles.
That makes more sense now.
Cackling
yeah.
turkey.
Yes, exactly. So there you have it, folks. The
Gobble,
word
gobble,
gobble
cackle,
versus
cackle.
cackle. I don't know. I mean, that's an interesting thing to really figure that out. But so now you know what those things. And there is an American Pie Council, just for the record, everyone. And we've never had so the turkey lifespan, according to our research.
Oh, we got it?
It's a 3 to 5
Wild. In
wild,
the
and
wild.
then domestically up to 10 years.
What do you mean domesticated? You could train a turkey? It could be a house. It could be
Put
a
it on
house
a leash
turkey.
and take it
Could
for
be
a
a
walk.
house turkey.
It's a service pet.
Listen, the one that's leading the parade in Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
They
service
sent
pet.
him to school.
Oh,
turkey
gosh.
school.
So the last part we have here, a couple more questions, and we have our guest that'll be coming on shortly. We have the American Pie Council. There is such a thing, and it's a big deal this time of year. I mean, question, Joe, are you cake or pie person?
I eat anything.
Kenny,
real.
As long
cake
as-
or pie?
Oh,
Depends
man.
on the pie.
Depends on the pie.
I'm not really a
Yeah.
big pumpkin pie fan.
Me neither. I like apple pie, but I don't like pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
But the cake you can't go wrong with. So I have to go with, I'm a cake guy, but for Thanksgiving, I never had
No
cake
holds
for
barred, it's
Thanksgiving.
everything.
But if someone has a cake,
It'll taste
I'll
the
eat
same
it.
in the end. Is that what you're saying?
Thanksgiving, they put out like
Tastes like
500
chicken.
different desserts.
Tastes like chicken.
We have cannolis on Thanksgiving. I don't
There
know
you
what
go.
you're talking.
I personally, I'm cake, but I do like apple pie. But I will share with you during
Warm
this
apple
time.
pie with ice cream.
That's right.
So you're getting me hungry.
Yes.
Well, just
Pumpkin
that you're
pie
aware,
is, you got to be in the mood for it.
pumpkin pie is the favored
That's
pie
right. Yeah.
during this time of
No
year.
doubt about it.
And there are approximately 50 million pumpkin pies made during this time of year.
Wow.
50 million. And that's just,
a lot of
that's
pies.
not global, that's us here.
Aren't you tired of pumpkin stuff, though?
No,
Everywhere
I love
you go,
pumpkin.
this, pumpkin that.
No, I'm never tired of
Yeah,
pumpkin.
it's like
When
the-
does that end? After Christmas?
yes.
The day after, yeah.
Thank
The
God.
day after.
December 26th, that's it. Pumpkin's over.
You go to,
This is the
go to
great one.
Go to Dunkin' Donuts. Don't put none of that pumpkin crap in
none
my
of that.
coffee.
This is what I really love, this one here. The busiest day for plumbers.
The day
After
after.
Thanksgiving.
The day after Thanksgiving is the busiest day in the plumbing industry.
The day after Thanksgiving.
They clog that stuff up.
Listen, I used to be a plumbing guy, and I'm telling you now, it is
So probably
absolutely
Christmas,
true.
too.
The amount of kitchen sink blockages and
That's
toilet
right.
blockages are insane during the day after Thanksgiving.
It actually, that is the right answer. I did not know this, but
Eat good, support plumbers.
that's right. Eat good, support plumbers. There you go. We are always here to help our fellow brethren, plumbers in particular. And you know what's really interesting is that we mentioned before about Black Friday. It's actually turned into, I can't believe this one, an Olympic-driven sport. It's turned
my
into an
goodness.
Olympic-driven sport, Black Friday.
What, who could get in the door the fastest?
Well, you know, you have to have your sneakers on. You have to have, you know, your helmet on, your
people
your
actu-
gear. You got to have your purse, your bags. I mean, if you go to Black Friday at Sawgrass, which is right here, where a lot of people go shop for Black Friday.
Tell me how
the
it works.
malls-
Like you got to wait outside?
well, no. I mean, people they come in with luggage, and they just pack the stuff in with luggage, and a lot of them do go and sell it later on in the market because it's such a deep discount.
Wow.
But yeah, there's a whole plan. There's a
Yeah.
whole plan on how to do that.
I remember
So-
when PlayStation 4 first came out. I had like 4 different people out there on Black Friday. None of them got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets really intense. The
I had to get a guy that one fell off the back of a truck, you know?
sometimes they gotta fall off the back of the truck.
Well, there you have it, folks. I mean, I hope that you really, truly enjoyed some of this. But for those that missed the first hour of this 2-hour segment, there was one great question, and we really should ask it because it's part of the
What?
Thanksgiving. As we know, we all watch football, for the most anyway, watch football on Thanksgiving Day. And the
Sure
question
do.
was before, what team has played almost every Thanksgiving since 1934? And the answer was
The Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions. That's right. And they played who?
Chicago
The
Bears.
Chicago Bears.
Chicago
First
Bears.
team they play,
The
but
Bears.
they play every year different teams.
Yes, they do. But also, you know, the
gotta hurry up.
Dallas Cowboys joined in on that tradition as well. So they've been playing since 1966, that tradition
Yeah,
of
they're the
playing
main
on
game now because they're America's team.
And
They
who's
put-
going to be playing for Thanksgiving?
I think you guys are playing the
they're
the
playing
Vikings.
Giants.
They're playing the Giants.
Oh, the Giants. Oh no, you got the Vikings this week, right?
Vikings are Sunday. Cowboys are playing the Giants on Thanksgiving. Who are you guys playing? I mean, Detroit's playing. They're not playing Chicago. Who are they playing?
I think we are. I think we are playing Detroit this week. No, we played last week. Detroit. We're playing.
Oh, Detroit beat you. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, they're debating. I will
we're
be
losing
playing
left
Black
and right.
Friday and just making sure that I get those deep discounted deals. And just because, you know what?
Oh, Bills.
By the way, do you know how many grams of fat we actually would consume on average on Thanksgiving Day?
How many?
229 grams of fat.
That's it.
Was that a lot?
I thought it was gonna be more. I was thinking.
No, that's a lot, people.
Well, you're
Okay,
thinking
that's a lot.
calories. That's grams of fat.
That's
That's,
grams
a
of
lot.
fat.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
I mean, all that butter and the sour cream and everything, just yum, 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 yum. That's all I got to say.
You know, in the football game, they have that 6-leg turkey.
They have-
Turducken. 8 legs.
Oh,
8 legs, right? It is, right?
Turducken. It's turkey. They smash a duck inside the turkey. John Madden did that.
that's insane.
Yeah,
It's
a
like
turkey
eating
and a
your own
duck.
young. That's terrible.
It's like they make this crazy looking thing.
A turducken?
Turducken, it's called.
Cooked,
See, you
cooked
didn't do that
bird
with your
porn.
research.
No. That should be illegal.
They stuff a turkey. A duck inside the turkey, and you cook it.
Oh
Good
gosh,
Lord.
I should show up with that at the dinner time.
It's a bit
It's just not
disturbing.
sitting
but-
well. No, I'm not buying that one.
Looks great cooked.
Well, anyway,
Yeah,
there
we
you go,
better roll.
folks. We
We
have
gotta-
a roll.
we
We
got
have
our
guests
guest.
with us. So they finally made it in from Miami. We thank so much for them coming in. We want to make sure that we have our guests lined up, and so this is the first time we've had a lot of people here.
Yes. How you guys like the new studio?
It's great. I know, right? So we have with us Dan Woods, also known as Tony Visions, who was here last week.
David.
What's that?
David Woods.
David, what did I say?
Dan.
Dan. I'm still on the turkey note with the turducken thing.
needs her she needs her
I am so
glasses.
sorry. No, I'm hungry. So it's David Woods, and they threw me off with the whole turducken thing. It's just not sitting well. But David Woods, designer, known as also Tony Visions, and a producer. We actually want to see if we can bring up your flyer about what's going on, but we had you on last week or the week before, and to talk about the Art Basel Hard Rock event that you're putting
There
together.
it is, yep.
This is the
Oh, that's
actual
coming
event.
up quick.
It's coming up quick. It's going to be at the Dare, outside version of the Dare side.
What
And,
night does that fall on?
let's see here.
Thursday and Friday.
Thursday and
Thursday and
Friday.
Friday.
What day is it that now? What is it? What do you see on there?
December 1st and 2nd.
First and second.
December 1st and 2nd. And this is going to be Basel at the Hard Rock, or at the
So we'll
Rock.
come right after the show.
We can go right after the show.
Yep.
And there'll be art, music, and fashion, film tech, and it's going to be an immersive industry experience. So everyone, please welcome David Woods, also known as Tony Visions, and the producer. So let's see if we can bring him on. But before we do that, I just want to say that this has been a great 2-hour show so far. And we're going to top it off with arts, and we're going to be supporting. So if we can bring David on.
No more turkey
there he
talk?
is. No more turkey talk.
Thank God.
And this
Here
is
we go,
David
here
and
we go,
his
here we go.
crew. Thank you so much,
Hello,
everyone,
hello,
for
hello.
making it. I know that you did the Miami dash to get here. Thank you so
did.
much. We have you here, but this is the most people we ever had in the actual station.
On the air.
On
one
air.
time.
So thank you so much for doing that. This is in our new studio.
Yeah.
And I'm going to actually just introduce, we have, am I going to say this correctly?
Probably not.
Maciel?
Oh, wow.
Maciel
Yeah,
Herrera?
That's
That
like
was
the first
amazing.
time I've
All right.
heard anyone really say it so perfectly. Thank
All
you.
right. Well, we have Maciel with us, fashion and show director and co-founder of Fusion Fashion Events.
Yes.
We had you on last time.
Yes,
Welcome
I was
back.
here.
I'm so
Thank
excited
you.
to see you
Congratulations.
again.
This place is great.
I'm glad you like it. We wanted to make sure that maybe next time you can actually have some models and show some of your stuff.
Definitely.
And then we also have Christopher Francis. And which is Christopher? There we go. Christopher Francis, who's talent manager and co-founder of the Fusion Fashion Events. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you so much for being here. And then we have Kevin Zamora, branding and marketing manager. Glad that you can make it.
Thank you. All the way from New Jersey, too.
All the way from New Jersey. What part of Jersey?
East Rutherford.
East Rutherford.
I heard you guys
Wow.
talking about the
We
Giants
just had
and
Leonard
Jets
Marshall
before.
on from New Jersey.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Jets fan, so.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, I grew up a good portion of my youth in Hasbrook Heights.
Oh, wow. That's like the town right over.
That's
So
right. Spent a
you're
lot
very
of time in
familiar
East
with it.
Rutherford.
We accept everybody with their imperfections.
And then we also have Ariana DeStefano in production.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you so much for everyone being here. So, David, tell us what's going on. So tell me what's gone on since the last event. And, you know, once here with the Power Up Hour, we're also wanting to always celebrate the arts. And this is a big event. Art Basel is a very big event
Yeah.
for our communities down here. So tell us a little bit what's going on in your world with this event.
Definitely. So thank you for having us again. We're very appreciative to that. So this is the whole Fusion Fashion Events team. We're the next biggest event production company coming out, so we're coming for everybody. First and foremost, this show is going to be a takeover of Art Basel, basically. We're bringing the entire Art Basel community to the Hard Rock. So it's something that hasn't been done yet, hasn't been done before. And, you know, we have all the right people and all the right tools now, so we're literally bringing an immersive industry experience to the Hard Rock at Dare Day Club. We'll have cabanas.
Basically bringing Miami to the Hard Rock.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we're trying to, really blend it. Miami's getting a little oversaturated, a little overpopulated. So, I mean,
Agreed.
South Florida is a very big community, and there's a lot of gaps that are there. So we're literally just trying to bridge everything together. So, I mean, with all of our expertise, with me being a designer, with show producers, talent coordinators, production, marketing, we feel like we generally have everything that we need now. So we did a great show at Swim Week, and now we're aiming to really just take over Art Basel and not just do a great show, but actually expand the community and bring the community together from Miami to Boca to Fort Lauderdale to Hollywood, and just really get a real grasp of what South Florida is, because it's not just Miami, it's so much more to it.
How what's the expectation of who you feel is going to be attending? How many people do you think will be attending? Because I think it's a fantastic idea. Because
Yeah.
I do not like going to Miami. I mean, that's an experience. Just that.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a spiritual thing to
Yeah,
go down there.
you have to
It
be
really
ready
is.
for it.
And to get up here from there is also another
And
spiritual
then you need a
experience.
cleanse after that.
You need a cleansing after that.
Yeah.
True.
But yeah,
Very true.
we're expecting all type of people from NFL players. We have Tyreek Hill from the Dolphins. He's going to be showcasing as well there. We have Azealia Banks. We have a very, like, what we do is that we call it fusion, because that's what we do. We don't try to just do one genre of anything. We like to fuse everything, all of the arts. So you can expect to see the most random people there, basically, and from high end to low end and everything. So, yeah, I mean, we're super excited for it. Excited to have you guys there as well on Thursday, I believe,
be
right?
there.
Yes.
You guys will be there, right?
Yes, Thursday.
Okay.
Are we doing it for Thursday?
Yeah, we're definitely.
So am I going to be emceeing, or
We're gonna
have we
need you up
decided
there.
yet?
Yeah, we're gonna make it work.
All right, I'm going to make it work. I'm very excited. I know that you brought your team with you, and Maciel, we have here the fashion show director and the co-founder of Fusion Fashion. So, were you yourself and you, David, were the founders? Is that how that worked, or tell me how this all came to be?
Yeah, pretty much. We also have Chris, who is a co-founder as well. We, like David said, we really wanted to just fuse together our network that we've been building in Miami and Fort Lauderdale over the years. I represent Fort Lauderdale Fashion Week, as well as Ariana with me. And we just saw the opportunity of basically what you said, bringing Miami up to Hollywood without having to have the hassle of going all the way down there. Like, just get us going here and fusing everything that we got together.
But this is going to be the first time at the Hard Rock.
No, we did Miami Swim Week, and
Okay.
that was amazing, and that was the first shot that we did of,
But that was Miami.
That was Miami. No,
the-
that was at the Hard Rock.
Oh, so okay, so this is going to be the second time at the Hard Rock.
Yes, yes.
I love that. The Hard
And
Rock
now we're
is an
there for
amazing
2
venue.
days, so they loved what we did, and they asked us to come back, and we're ready for more.
Excellent. So I know you said it's going to be a fusion of all these different things that are occurring. Why are you calling it an immersive experience? Tell me why that would be.
Well, we came up with the immersive experience because we really want to have the showcase going on, about for fashion. Like we said, Tariq, he's also, we have many talents, basically. Even though it's one art, they have different kind of talents going on. So even if a designer, he's also a singer, something like that. So we're pretty much, showcasing how you are being an artist, but you can have many talents.
Exactly. So, I mean, in terms of immersive, everybody is familiar with the Hard Rock Casino. It kind of sells itself, the luxurious feel of it all. So what we've done is, prior to our last event, Swim Week, it was more about just the fashion show. It was just, hey, there's the runway. This one, we brought together a lot more art. So we have over 30 artists participating.
Oh, fantastic.
We have galleries throughout the venue. But what makes it really immersive is, instead of just keeping those cabanas and bungalows for VIP sections, we actually gave the opportunity to brands and artists to turn those into pop-ups.
That's
So,
going to be amazing. I
yeah.
could just see that happening.
No, it's going to be a great experience, and for us, it's really truly what we've done here is built a platform. So music, fashion, art, those things always go together anyway. So we're just finding a great way to fuse them together. So the focal point is the fashion show, but since it is Art Basel, it is our first show for Art Basel. So we're going to have over 30 artists from all over, from New York, from Philly, from Cali, most of them from Miami, the beloved Miami. But after the fashion show, we're also going to go right into a music concert. So our first actual fashion show, we kind of opened it up with opening performance, a little halftime show, and that gave us a lot of success. People loved it, the experience. We build our stage over the pool, so that kind of gives everybody a great vibe. You're kind of like walking on water itself. So this time we made the stage even bigger. So for that reason, we were like, hey, let's throw a little concert after the fashion show. So
Who's going to be doing the concert?
in terms of artists, we have about 6 to 8 right now for day 1, and we're going to try to do the same type of lineup for day 2 as well. But some of the more popular ones that people know would be like Kaylin Arnold, Hoosh, Miss Galactica, who was just on The Voice in Argentina, actually. Yeah. So she puts on an amazing show. We're actually going to be hosting an open casting call. So if there is some talent listening now, we have all our casting calls at the Hard Rock Casino. So usually we just do it for models, but this time we want to really lend that stage out to everybody to kind of create that platform for themselves and just celebrate art in every form. So that's why, as you see on the flyer, it says art, music, fashion, film, tech. For us, we want to invite it all. So we also do have a panel of speakers. There's a brand new app called Breakout Social. It's an audio-based platform, and they're going to be coming out there with a couple TED Talks, TED speakers, as well as some fitness industry gurus and a guy known as Will the Beast from Cali who brings a lot of energy. He's known for being one of the top choreographers for music videos, but they'll be out there kind of just giving a speech on how business and sound is changing, especially with Instagram and all the social media advancements.
Wow. Did you know all that?
No.
I'm exhausted listening.
That's why this is our marketing guru right here.
That's why they bring me along, you know what I'm saying? So that's
hire that guy.
Wow.
Yeah, we got to get him right on payroll first.
Wow, that's amazing. So, Kevin, you know, as far as branding and marketing, how has it been going for you so far?
Amazing. I mean, it really is like what they said before. It's a culmination of all of our networks.
Okay.
So give you a little bit of background as well. Like Ariana and Masi know each other from Fort Lauderdale Fashion Week.
Okay.
Chris and David know each other from just doing, I think, over 100 shows together. I know David from about 6 years ago. I was working on a footwear product. So I met David at a fashion show, and coming back, I'm from Jersey, so, you know, I would come back here and there. But after the pandemic, I was one of those people who migrated. So migrating down here, I was already working on him with a lot of projects, and we ended up just coming up with the crazy idea of kind of teaming up together on a studio in Wynwood, known as Vision House Studios. So we have a third partner over there, Michael Hersey, and for the past 3 years, we've just been meeting more brands, more artists, more designers.
Fantastic.
And from renting them studio space, we've now been moving into more of consulting, kind of giving them more help, and once again, just using that network to help everybody.
I just have to ask. I mean, we've been down this road as at this stage of our life. What is the average age for all of you? Would you say? I mean, look how young they are.
I would say 31, 30.
31.
I'm 27.
I'm 31.
31. Okay, 27. Okay.
No
All right,
comment.
well,
I'm 35, so we're right around,
This is
all around
32.
the same age.
So Christopher is very quiet in the back over there. I'm not saying what's going on, but
Yeah,
he's,
I'm in my 20s.
Yeah.
Why did I bring that up? And this is what, you know, our show here at the Power Up Hour is. It's always to set motivation and inspiration, and this is very, very admirable. We are looking at an average of 31-year-olds here that have put an amazing show together. I mean, just think about this. I mean, when we were 31, I mean,
I didn't start doing stuff like that till I was in my 40s. So you
but
guys,
this is inspirational.
young entrepreneurs, very proud of you guys.
I'm very proud of all of you, and it's very inspiring. I mean, for those that are listening, I mean, you know, if you were to say the path of how you got here on average, I mean, just really quickly share a little bit. I mean, you know, go ahead, Dave, and start with you as far as how you got to this point. And what would you say to anyone that if they want to pursue this dream, like what would they need to do? And we're running out of time, so go fast.
Yeah, I mean, usually I always say for anybody who wants to get started, you just have to take that first step, which is the hardest part. I mean, I always say I have a lot of faith. I have a lot of faith in God, and I believe that doors open when they're meant to be, and I believe that they close when they are, when they're meant to be as well. So I mean, I literally walk like that. A lot of doors open. That's how I meet all these people. That's how I meet Kenny. That's how I met you guys. That's how I met Masi, Chris, Ariana, Kevin. It just happened. There was no plan, and it felt good. It felt good. We all trust each other, and we go with it. So I mean, that's always my main thing, and like literally just take that first step.
What would you say, though? You know, many of us work on a lot of projects at the same time, and would you say master one or two? Or would you say work on 8 at the same time?
No, I mean, anything I put my mind to, I feel like I can master it.
You know
but
what I
there's
like?
so much going on. I work on 20 projects at a time.
That's why
that I'm
you're
not-
successful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
to an
that's what it
extent.
takes.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I never, to this day yet, I haven't been able to really grasp one and just be like, this is all I'm going to fine tune, because I'm always grabbing onto the next thing.
Smart.
Next thing. I mean, it's a lot, but I mean,
That's-
it
that
does
could be
open
challenging.
doors. It
That could be
definitely-
challenging.
But that does help open these doors and keep the pedal going and keep things rolling, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, otherwise, I mean, I love to slow down all the time. I try to, but I just can't. So.
What would you say, Maciel?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think we're complex humans, and like I mentioned earlier, we're humans of the arts, so we have a lot of different talents, and it's important to feed each one of them. I think that's how you can keep going. Not forgetting anything that sparks in you, and sharing that with other people, and that's how you keep growing.
Okay. And so, what would you say, Kevin?
In terms of business and just entrepreneurship, I would say, even in just branding in general, I think it's the effective and consistent communication of a brand message. That's what I like to say. So I think the same goes with what you're pursuing, as long as you are consistent and effective. So I handle a lot of different projects, and I learned the hard way, but it's a lot about creating systems for yourself to stay organized. And then one of the hardest things is delegating. So as you see here, there's a big team for a reason.
Sure.
We all play our certain roles, and that
Well
was
said.
a big learning
A big
curve.
team that has a role to play. And I know the youngest one in the crowd right there. We have Ariana, who's in production. You're the youngest of the group here?
I'm usually never the youngest, so that's an honor.
Oh, wow, that's very telling. Oh, my goodness, she's never the youngest. Oh, my goodness. So really quick, though, I know that you're working on the production, which is a very big component to the success of everything for such a young age. Really quickly, what would be the one thing you would say for others that are working on projects that they should focus in your words?
So I can't remember a time when this wasn't exactly what I wanted to do. I've been a little bit delusional in the sense of like, this has always been my dream, and no matter what I had to do to get there, I was going to do it. If it was work a little bit for free, work long hours, like step into opportunities that I know could grow into something bigger later on. And it's honestly, everything, like they said, it's been organic. So it's just been putting myself in the right position. I remember my first opportunity when I was an intern. I reached out to every single designer that was working in Swim Week, and just waited for them to reach out to me, and then just went
Great
from there.
words. Really quickly, I got to hear from the quiet one in the corner. Christopher, quickly, give me one sentence, really quick.
I think the foundation all begins with the motivation and the team you have behind you. And I think without the team, we wouldn't be able to be here where we're at. So I give a lot of my credit to my team, and I'm thankful for everybody. And I think you guys are doing a great job. I'm just taking the time to sit and enjoy the process.
Thank you so much. Great words of wisdom. I mean, I have to say, these are from youngins.
Yes, we really appreciate you guys driving all the way out here, but.
And let me tell you, if you can go to the show, go to the show. I got to show my line at his first fashion show. Their shows are tremendous. You don't want to miss their shows.
And how do they find out more about it real quick?
Fusion Fashion Events on all social media platforms, or Tony Visions, Once
Website?
Models.
Is there a website to go to?
You can buy tickets on Eventbrite. The event name is Basil at the Rock.
All right, Basil at the Rock.
As well as a website, it's Art Basel 2022, right?
Got it.
.com.
Everyone, you guys, thank you so much for the spiritual experience, I'm sure, of coming up here from Miami. But we're here to support you. I'm super excited to be a part of this. Once again, Power Up Hour supporting our youngins and these great artwork that they're doing in the sense of all fashion and fusion, immersion, all those great words. Everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. And what are you going to say?
Thank you, guys, and we'll see everyone next week. Oh, no, next week we're off.
We're off. Yes, we're going to be playing one of our more favorite shows on Friday. But other than that, one thing that we want to say, thank you so much for being a part of our world, and happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
everyone.
Thanksgiving to all, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Don't eat too much turkey.
You have been listening live to the one and only timeless Denise as she helps you bring in your weekend with a smile. If you wish to contact Denise and be on the show, call us at 866-224-5422 or email Denise at poweredupradiotv.show and tell us how your business shapes up the weekend. Again, call us at 866-224-5422 and make your mess our message. Now that you are powered up, go get your weekend on.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
Oldies 95.3.